Hello, everyone. It's time for another E3 coverage show. What's going? How did you grow in size, Zeke? And also, why are you dressed like DJ Wheat all of a sudden? What's going on here?
I'm getting in the E3 spirit, man.
Okay, all right. Is the E3
I'm
spirit
trying.
Wheat? Is he the spirit of E3? Is DJ Wheat?
He is. I'm
Okay.
trying to have my picture be as big as his ego, and
What? Of all the people, I think Wheat probably has the smallest ego in the
I
gaming
know,
world.
I know,
Probably, most likely.
I know. That's why I was fucking with it or
Okay.
fucking with him
Also,
because
by the way, just want to say how much I love the look. Zeke is pulling off. If you were to have God of War on one side
Mm-hmm.
and Burke Black on the other,
Right.
he's right there in the middle. Pretty good.
It's pretty good. It is.
Pretty good.
yeah, I
like
immediately got both of those as soon as I chopped off all that dead, bleached, and dyed hair. Like
Yeah.
I got immediately got Kratos and Burke Black.
Yeah.
Because
Burke of
you
War.
can't
Yeah.
you can't just look
Burke of
like
War.
yourself anymore. If you change something about yourself, you automatically look like 20 other people.
Oh yeah. No, it's 2019. There's no uniqueness around. It's
It
comparison
died
is
actually in
abroad.
2011.
Yeah.
Little known fact. Yeah,
That's
that
true.
was when it was officially declared dead.
It is indeed true. That was the official date of it. What episode are we on?
Today is 16/1/11.
16/1/11. E3's coming up. It starts on Sunday. Zeke, you're flying out Saturday. Is that when you head to LA?
Yeah.
No, I like the slow turn. Take off the glasses. Yeah, my flight's on Saturday. That's true. That's accurate.
Well, no, I know it's the 8th, but I was just making sure that the 8th is on Saturday. And yes, I still have like a hard copy calendar, so I don't have to like dig around and fish for my phone. And
Yeah.
I guess if I
Oh,
can
those
just
are
look to
good.
the right glance and then it's done.
Those are good.
Yeah.
They work. Today's show is going to be probably, we'll see. I don't know how much E3 coverage we're going to do, but it might just be the full 3 hours. So there might be very little actual what we've been playing and all that other stuff today because we have a lot to get through. Even with Sony not being at E3 this year, there's still 6 other conferences happening, and they all seem pretty major when it comes to what's going to be showing up in them and what they're actually hoping to show. And then, of course, there's all these leaks where it seems like every 30 minutes, Amazon, England, or Walmart, Saudi Arabia is leaking something on their fucking
Saudi
scheme.
Arabia?
I don't know. Maybe. Who knows?
Who knows?
So there's been a shit ton of leaks since almost starting 2 weeks ago in terms of what's going to show up where. But before we get to all that stuff, we're just going to start this conversation with a very simple question. Besides the stupid answer, I'm excited for the unknown. What's the number one thing that you guys are most stoked about going into E3 this year? Before we get started with anything else, where does it begin?
CDP or Cyberpunk release date.
Specifically, the Cyberpunk release date. You don't want to see any more. You're sold on the idea. You just want the release date. Okay.
I didn't even need the last trailer, bro.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. You have been indoctrinated. That is true.
And confirmed.
Zeke, what about
Actually,
you?
Yeah, well, go ahead.
We don't have a confirmed date for Death Stranding, right?
No, we do. Or wait, I thought we did. Do we not?
Oh, wait, now we do. After
Yeah.
the last trailer. Yes.
Yeah, November 8th. The 8th.
That's right. Okay, that's
This
right. Okay.
I'm surprised
that's
they didn't
already
say
been
that
announced.
for E3.
Well, they don't have anything to show it. I mean, where are they going to show it at? They don't have a conference.
Good point.
Man, that's a tough one, dude. Like it's tough. It's tough not to just say Cyberpunk and parrot that shit.
Yeah.
But I'd love to have like a set something in stone for Last of Us 2, but that's probably not going to happen, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I doubt that'll be there. Unless Sony last minute is like, oh, we're going to drop, what do they call what's their Nintendo Direct? I can never remember because it's not catchy.
Sony
at all.
Showcase.
Is it a Sony Showcase? No.
I have no idea.
State of Play. It's a bad name. They might just announce last minute like, oh, we're doing a State of Play and here's all this other stuff. But I would think they're going to save that for PSX in December when it comes to what they're actually talking about PS5 and Last of Us release date and all that stuff. Seems like Death Stranding is going to be the big one. So where are you at, Zeke? What is it? We got to know. What's the most anticipated thing?
I don't know, man. besides Cyberpunk, like that was like my answer. Like I don't really look forward to much as far as like, or at least this year, nothing is really like popped up. Like I'm. You took away my one answer is like the unknown. Like I want to see new shit, but like
it's my go-to answer too because it's in some ways it's the easy answer, but I think it also might just be too true for a lot of people. They want to see the new IPs, they want to see the new, rather than stuff that's already kind of out there and been talked about. So,
but honestly, like when you brought that question up, chat, I didn't see I saw like maybe one or two other things besides Cyberpunk. It was just a flood of Cyberpunk in chat.
Well,
that's all anybody cares about.
We do have to be very aware that a large portion of chat is Co's audience, and Co's audience is a huge CRPG audience and a huge Witcher fan audience. So you're going to see a lot of CRPG love. Plus, it's probably one of the biggest things right now in gaming besides all that. So I think CDPR is probably going to be out and about in terms of everyone's minds going into E3 this weekend. But
Borderlands 3, people are saying, I saw a couple of those.
Yeah.
Darkest Dungeon 2 is not like that. Like, does anybody really care about it besides, nerds like me?
I think Darkest Dungeon 2 has some reach for sure. I think if they show that at PC Gaming Conference, I guess is where that would show up.
PC 1 was a phenomenon. Like, it took over Twitch, like FTL and Binding of Isaac style for months. I mean, hell, I just saw somebody streaming it to 10K people yesterday.
Still a good game.
Oh yeah, I think DD2 is going to be huge when it hits.
Yeah.
I'll be playing it.
Yeah, that might show up. PC Gaming Conference, maybe. That's kind of the one conference where we just don't we know somewhat of what's going to be there, and that's Epic Game exclusives, but we don't really know everything else that'll come with that. It's the unknown show, which is maybe why it's one of the more sought after and looked forward to. I think mine to give Zeke a little bit of a break here, because we're grilling him with what he's most looking forward to. I think it's whatever this Avengers thing is. I think the Avengers and Marvel games at large, aside from Spider-Man, have been shit since the Marvel Ultimate Alliance days. So I'm hoping that we actually get a proper Avengers game out of whatever Square Enix is doing. That said, I don't know what a proper Avengers game is today. I don't know if it's like a third-person action game where you can play a bunch of different Avengers. I don't know if it's...
Just copy Spider-Man and just put different abilities in there. Spider-Man was so fucking good. I don't normally go in for comic book games. That one was so goddamn good. Take what they taught you there and just add more powers and call the person Iron Man or the Hulk or something.
So there's one of the rumors going around is that it's a live service. It's a Destiny.
Oh, okay.
It's an MMO. It's one of those where there's a persistent
Are they trying to do
thing.
what was that old Heroes MMO that just came back again?
City of Heroes?
City of Heroes.
The City of Heroes. Do you think they might try that with Avengers?
They'd have to be I don't know how they could. Here's the thing. Someone was talking about that the other day, and I formed an opinion in my brain. I don't want to play a hero that I create because whatever I can make is going to pale in comparison to Thor or Captain America, right? I don't want to be Captain Canada, all right? No one wants to be Captain Canada, Zeke. They want to be Captain America.
Hey, listen, I hate Canada just as much as the next guy. Don't let me in.
Okay, good.
That category.
Jesus.
Canada sucks. I'll be the first to say it.
Yeah, but they're so nice, eh?
That's the thing. You couldn't do anything.
You can take that
He wouldn't want to punch
Adam,
people.
Shannon,
You could shame them with self-realization. That could be their superpower. I mean, I think that'd be great. You could come up and be like, "Do you really need to attack people, eh? Or is that just you projecting your own negativity on other people, eh?" And they would just crumble.
God. Yeah, I mean,
I think that'd be great.
No, I think it could be. I think it could definitely be like you.
Every time they die, oh, sorry about that.
Your Avenger class is basically the hero you play. So you play Iron Man, but so Iron Man would be like the paladin in WoW. You could be like a red paladin, a healing paladin, or a blah blah paladin. That kind of thing.
Classes
and then
the
you could be like
heroes,
a damage, a DPS Iron Man, or you could be like a fucking tank Iron Man or something like.
Huh. So that maybe
Same
they
thing for the Hulk and for
I don't know if
Scarlet
it could.
Witch and
I don't think you could.
blah blah blah.
I think
I think there's
in-
actually a little bit of wiggle room in that game Marvel Heroes, the ARPG that they had out for a while, where
Yeah.
you could like basically collect the heroes and then you could kind of spec them a little bit. But I don't know, man. It's a real interesting line because like City of Heroes went the complete opposite direction with it, where they're like,
yeah.
everybody's just whatever they want to be, like be your own superhero and stuff. But then when you carry that over into established lore and where the people, just like you were saying, want to be those people and play those people, like for instance, Zeke, how good would that Spider-Man game have been that you enjoyed so much if it wasn't Spider-Man? Would you have still dug it just as much, or was the fact that you were playing Spider-Man a big draw?
Not for me, honestly, and I'm not like just trying to blow smoke or anything, because like I said, I don't go in for comic book games for the most part. Like if you slap Spider-Man, Superman, Wolverine on a game, I don't automatically want to play it. Enough
Quick
people
side note,
and
while I'm thinking about it,
enough like videos came out, and I watched and I went, man, this might actually be good. And then I picked it up and I was like, this is fucking amazing. Spider-Man or no.
Yeah. What was that, Co?
I was gonna say, quick side thing to Zeke. I don't know if you've ever played it. You should check out a game called Prototype.
Oh yeah, Prototype is fun.
I think I may have played
There's
it.
2 of them. The second
Very,
one was
very cool game.
Okay.
Yeah.
First one was really fun though.
And yeah, if you like the Spider-Man game, like Prototype is basically that, except with like bio weaponry instead of Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Okay. Is it PC?
Do they
I
have
don't
PC
think so. I think
ports?
it's console only. At least last I checked, but that was a long time ago.
They
take a
might
quick
have
look.
come
Okay.
out on PC.
Oh wow,
later.
people are saying it did come out on PC. Awesome.
Well, I played
There was even a
Infamous, and
second one,
Infamous
too.
was
I never
fucking
played the second one.
fantastic.
It's very much Infamous.
Yeah, there it is.
Okay.
$20.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's good though.
No, see, Infamous, I absolutely loved Infamous, and it had no superheroes involved in it.
Yeah.
Like, excuse me, no established superhero.
Right. Yeah. Well, we'll see. That's the big question for me is what the fuck is that game? But we'll talk about that when we get to Square Enix, which is actually, they've taken Sony's spot. So that's going to be on Monday evening. But I guess we'll start with EA Play. They don't have a conference this year. EA is just streaming their different games. They've already out there saying what will be at EA Play. We talked a little bit about this last week, but Jedi Fallen Order, Apex Legends, Battlefield 5, EA Sports FIFA, EA Sports Madden NFL, and then The Sims 4. I think they were out there saying, like, no, there will not be Dragon Age 4 at E3. Everything that's out there is exactly what we just said in this press release. So I guess Fallen Order is the one that we don't know about yet.
And aren't they doing that earlier?
Yes, that starts Saturday at 9:30 Pacific, I think is when Fallen
No.
Order
I mean,
starts.
Jedi Fallen Order specifically.
Yes,
Didn't they make an announcement?
it's the first one that starts 9:30 a.m. before everything else.
Okay.
On
So that is
Saturday.
lumped in with the EA Play stuff, though.
Yeah. There's no actual conference. They're just like streaming each game for 30 or 40 minutes or something like that. Yeah, I think out of all of that, I'm probably most excited for Jedi Fallen Order. I just want to see what the gameplay is. I want to see like how RPG they go with that, how action they go with that, if it'll be the Force Unleashed all over again, or if it'll be something else. Respawn's making that. Titanfall 2 was great. I think that single player was widely celebrated, so pretty excited to see what they do with that. But
I hopes, man.
yeah, I think that one's probably got the most appeal for the general audience. Sports stuff, you either play sports games or you don't. Sims 4, obviously a huge cash cow for EA, but not really the target audience for this show, and I think people that watch this show. Apex Legends, they're probably going to be talking about their new Battle Pass, I would guess, during that. That game's kind of... It's in a weird spot right now. I think a lot of people have either just stopped playing it completely or... I don't want to say forgotten about it. I think the first Battle Pass was somewhat of a disappointment to a lot of people that were playing nonstop, so they kind of got off the bandwagon. So hopefully they come out and show some proper stuff that people are excited about so they can start playing Apex again. But we'll see. I don't know. And then Battlefield 5. Yeah.
What if there was a 2143 announcement?
Yeah. I would probably be into that, but look, EA right now, did you see what happened earlier today with EA? They're selling a Battlefield 5 skin, a microtransaction that is basically a Nazi costume. As of this morning, you can buy like a Nazi outfit. and use it when you're playing the game. So they're dealing with that right now.
Well, I mean, but like, is there like a no? I realize how this is going to sound, but
Sure.
is there a good reason for this? Like remember that old game Axis and Allies? Like, you know, like there was a good reason for stuff sometimes.
I'm pulling up the story here to get the full thing. So it says in a promotional video that depicts Frank is a Nazi badass, and he's purchasable as a quote elite cosmetic skin for roughly $10. There are 3 other elites for the players to choose from: 2 Allied fighters, another Nazi, and the cold/calculated Ernst Schubert.
Who the fuck used the term Nazi badass?
That's not EA. This is Vice
I know,
writing
but
that. Yeah.
Who the fuck would use it? Are they using it like ironically?
Yes.
It's like,
yes. 100%.
Okay.
I mean, the article is Battlefield 5 is selling Nazi stuff, and it's really weird. That's the title of the article.
Okay.
So, 100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm just trying. Fuck it. Let's watch this video. Let's see what the fuck this video is about. I just want to see this. How do you not have the? How do you not see where this goes wrong? I think that's the skin right there.
Hold on. Did you hear yourself just now?
What?
How do you not see how this just went wrong?
Oh no, I'm sorry. Goes wrong, not went wrong. Yeah, sorry. You are correct.
Still didn't get it.
I guess not. I guess
No,
not.
JP,
how do you not
said
see Nazi?
you said the word Nazi.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
just funnier than I know. I guess.
Yeah, I know. You're
He's
just
a poet
cracking out
and
jokes.
he doesn't even know it.
Yeah. That's true.
Okay, hold on a second.
So what?
Were they in like a church or something?
Yeah, they're in a church and they're killing Allied soldiers. This is a map in Battlefield 5. Honestly, one of the better ones. At least when I played back at the start.
Okay.
Yeah, he's just killing Allied players.
Wow,
You
they're
play
really
as
making
that
this
guy.
guy look like a badass in this.
I guess this guy's like begging for his life. Does he shoot him anyways? Nope.
They just wait for him
so
to
he's
die?
a sympathetic Nazi. Okay, all right.
Oh.
He has some empathy. What the fuck?
We will only kill 90% of
What
players.
the fuck, man? That's just
Well, I mean, this isn't the first time. Like movies have done this over the years. Like Indiana Jones has done it. Like make certain people who
Sure.
are affiliated with Nazis or Nazis themselves, like made them look like, you know, like tough and you know,
right. Different time.
badass.
Though.
I suppose. Yeah.
I think different time
Like-
is the answer to that. That was the 70s or 80s. When did those movies come out?
Well, didn't they do that in like Hellboy? Like they were like totally associated. Like the bad guys were totally associated with the Nazi army. And they had that dude with like the sand and the fucking blade arms.
Sure. Anyways, doesn't matter. We're getting beside the point. That's a whole political argument that I don't want to have on the show.
I'm just trying to play devil's advocate here and say like,
Oh no, you're
this
playing
is not
Nazis advocate. I know.
something-
I got it. I understand.
I did not see that coming.
Oh God. Anyways, yes, Co. It would be cool if they showed Battlefield 2143 or announced it or said, "Hey, this is a thing that we're trying to do."
Even a teaser. They could Bethesda and just put like at the very end of the show, just be like, "Oh, by the way," and then like put the title up and then fade to black.
Yeah.
And like that would be the internet would be lit on fire.
I think we can all agree that Battlefield has gotten kind of stale, specifically with 5. So now's the time to start doing the weird shit again. And 2143, I think, is enough weird to get people back and interested in that game. I don't know if they've said that they're going to be showing new stuff, so we might just be hyping something up that won't happen at all because it is labeled as Battlefield 5. But we'll have to see. What about Apex Legends? Zeke, that's not really your wheelhouse. Code, is that just the BR thing where you played some BR and you're like, all right, I'm good and moved on?
Pretty much. Yeah. I mean, I honestly thought Apex Legends was going to be a lot bigger than it was.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty surprised. Like the thing, I feel like they should have known when they made Apex Legends and basically decided to go up directly against Fortnite with Fortnite's development cycle and how much Epic pushes that. to not have a conveyor belt set up and ready to churn out similar content, they kind of shot themselves in the foot. And like what I feel like they should have done is waited another year and developed a bunch of stuff that they were going to release over like the next 2 years, and that way had all this stuff ready to go. But instead, what they did was they released Apex Legends, which they did a job with, to be fair. Like, worked well, it ran great on day one, fully featured. Like, it was a really good offering.
Yeah.
But then instead of like keeping up with Epic, they made it super, super clear to everyone that they weren't going to deliver as much content and that they weren't going to crunch their employees. And it's like, that's cool, that's admirable, but Epic is going to slaughter you.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what they're doing.
Epic's kind of crazy with how fast they're releasing like skins and dances and just shit to buy within that game.
Oh, and actually, Chad is right. To be fair, people that call all the time in Apex Legends earlier too. So it did with a few major issues that weren't addressed pretty quickly.
Yeah.
I think it took like 2 months for them to fix my issue with drivers. So yeah, well, I'm like dying over here. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I don't know. Your internet's not cooperating with us today.
The audio coming through at least?
Somewhat. It's a little garbled. I understand that you were saying that it took them like 2 months to fix the crashes that you were having. With
It took them way too long to fix like bugs that were preventing people from finishing rounds. I know that's why I level. So
yeah, we'll see. What about do the two of you classify yourself as Star Wars fans? Where do you sit on the Star Wars fandom hierarchy? Where are you at here?
It depends on what you mean. Like, if you're using the actual term that fan comes from, like a fanatic.
Sure. Well, again, that's what
no.
I'm asking. Like, are you a fan?
Yeah.
Are you a fanatic? Do you watch the movies occasionally? Are you a diehard? Like, where are you at?
I like and enjoy the Star Wars movies. Probably it's like Marvel MCU.
Yeah.
And then like Star Wars, just like right there underneath it.
Okay. All right. I think I know Co's answers, but go ahead.
I haven't seen any of the Star Wars movies past episode 1. I religiously watched the original trio. I've probably seen the original 3 Star Wars 10 plus times. I mean, I literally watched them back to back multiple times. I love those movies.
Yeah.
But I've never seen any Star Wars past. I saw episode 1 and was just like, this is not my Star Wars. Like, this is not. But here's the thing. I've loved every Star Wars game. I've been here since X-Wing versus TIE Fighter, since Rebel Assault, since Dark Forces. I played Force Unleashed, both the coders probably 5 times a piece. Like, the games I'm absolutely in love with. I love the universe. I love the stories. I can't wait for information on Jedi Fallen Order. But I like the game significantly more than the movies, especially the recent ones.
Yeah. So Fallen Order, then I think Zeke's not. I think you guys would both be excited if they show a cool game, but you're not going to necessarily be freaking the fuck out when you see a lightsaber turn on or anything like that.
Yeah,
I certainly will be if the mechanics are good enough. If they show like a deep, interesting experience.
Okay. I was going to say, like, well, what if they say press X to turn the lightsaber on? Is that a good mechanic? Like, where are you at with that? No, I see what you're saying, though. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll just have
I just hope it's not some arcadey, like, surface level. I really hope they're not just going to make some really pretty, really basic Star Wars game. I kind of hope they put some meat in it. We haven't had a meaty Star Wars game in like a decade.
It's true.
Can you imagine if they made like a Star Wars game, but with like
it was
similarity to like Sekiro, like combat mechanics? Like lightsabers,
or
like
Mordhau?
Here's the I don't know if Disney would ever allow that to be made. Like, I feel like if you're making a Star Wars game and Disney is overseeing it, they're going to be like, all right, a 5-year-old needs to be able to play this game and be successful. Like,
sure.
They have to be able to do
Disney,
well.
of course.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, I would love that to have like lightsaber battles that like made me feel like really, really cool, like a Jedi. That would be awesome.
Without a doubt, you're not wrong.
Agreed.
We'll have to see. The other thing that I think we had by the way, I should note this. We had a longtime Drop Frames viewer who's making a doc for us and updating in real time. Cosmic Blip. So shout out to him for doing that. A huge boon for us here on this show. He is stating that the Xbox conference will also feature more Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order as well. So I hope we don't get the thing that happened with, was it Anthem? Where they like showed a little bit and then it was like, tune in tomorrow for the Xbox conference to see more, and then we have to wait a whole 24 hours for the actual like gameplay reveal. Can totally see them doing that. I hope they don't. I hope they're able to actually show some stuff. It's a 30-minute stream that they have allotted time for. So hopefully it's not just a bunch of talking heads talking about how it's going to be a dark and scary time for Jedi and blah, 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 blah. And it's actually like some real gameplay. We'll have to see.
This time it's going to start with it. It was a time devoid of light.
Yeah.
Mm-mm-mm.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's EA. There's no conference this year, which I think a lot of people are whatever on. The past EA conferences have been sports heavy is how I would classify them, or maybe sports lopsided that people weren't super excited for. So they've done away with them, and there was much rejoicing. And that's it for Saturday. Xbox is up next, and man, the leaks are a-flying. The comments are going. The Cyberpunk is going to be there. This is the conference where Cyberpunk will show up. Hopefully, like Co was saying, we might get a release date for that, but we'll see.
Here's a quick question.
Go ahead.
I've had multiple people say that this is going to be the biggest Microsoft conference ever. Is that because they announced something or something, or are people just making assumptions?
I think this is why. So Phil Spencer was out there saying they're going to show 14 games. Okay.
14 new games?
14 games is what's going to be shown. He didn't classify them as new. He just said 14 games. Cyberpunk's in there. They've also got all these studios, Obsidian Entertainment and Exile Entertainment, Ninja Theory, Playground Games, Compulsion Games, Undead Labs, and The Initiative, which have all not announced projects yet. So all those things might show. Oh, sorry. 14 first-party games is the thing. We need to clarify that. Yeah. What were we going to say? Was that what you were going to say?
I was going to say, I just realized this year, Microsoft is going to have Cyberpunk. They're going to have Obsidian's Outer Worlds. They're going to have In Exile's Wasteland 3. Like, this is actually going to be pretty good.
And they're probably going to show new hardware. We're probably going to, I mean, they were out there. There was a leak that said, let me find this actual article.
Oh, the new Halo 2.
Yeah. So Halo Infinite is going to be played on next generation hardware. And we will finally get to see what that is. They're also going to be probably talking about is it the X Cloud? Is that what they're calling their streaming thing? Yes. X Cloud will be the focus of the show, which is Microsoft's Google Stadia competitor, I guess is what you would call it. So we'll see what the fuck that's about. That could be a potential big thing. We just don't really know. And then on top of all that, they've got all the games that they have been working on outside of everything that we just said first party wise. So like we said, new Halo, probably a Forza thing. That Battletoads thing that was talked about, was that last year, maybe the year before? So something Battletoads will show up there. Fable 4 has shown up on Mixer and Twitch under a game list. So that's probably going to show up. Gears 5 will be there. The tactical Gears 5 thing that they're making, that is the PC XCOM game. There's I
might go back to Gears for that.
I think it's Gears Pop, which is the like toy Gears game that was talked about last year that's in alpha or something right now in Australia. So that might be the type of thing where it's like, and you can get it now. Then they push it out on whatever. Yeah, it's going to be I think this is going to be the big conference. It seems like all the pieces are in place, that it's going to be a big deal. For sure. Co, here's one that you'll probably like. There's a rumor that, again, all rumors. We have no idea how much actual data is behind this stuff, so take it for what it's worth.
Thank you for tempering me a bit.
Yes. I want to be very clear that these are indeed rumors. There's very little fact for a lot of this stuff. Comicbook.com is reporting that Microsoft will reveal a new MechAssault at E3. And I know you're a big MechAssault fan, so I wanted to make that aware. I'm trying to see exactly where or who's going to be working on this.
That's the first I've heard of that. Dude.
Yeah.
Oh my Lord. Like the only game that's even slightly mech related that's even on the horizon is MechWarrior 5, which a lot of people are excited for. But yeah, like that would be crazy good to get another Mech. God, I loved that game back in the day.
It'd be
That's
cool.
awesome.
The rumor comes away from an alleged industry insider. He says there's a very high chance a new game in the series will be in the series from yesteryear is in the works and will finally be revealed during the show. So that's where that's coming from. Totally a rumor. Have very little basis to see if that'll there or be there, but we will see. There's also the Game of Thrones author and From Software Great Rune that has been rumored a bunch. I think all but confirmed, really. I mean, there's multiple things out there. George R.R. Martin was talking about it in his own goddamn blog. So,
yep. And then they found the files in Sekiro, which didn't exactly help the whole keeping it under wraps thing.
Yeah. So that's going to be there. That's exciting. Nordic, I think, inspired, which, again, super great. That's a cool thing. They have not done that yet with like a Dark Souls style game in the Nordic world. So we'll see what that looks like. Zeke, does that kind of join the list of things you're super stoked for? I know you're a big Dark Souls style fan. You're into it?
Yeah, I mean,
is that just an autoplay?
It's so hard to be like super psyched about shit because the disappointment is just so rampant lately. Just I want it. Yes. I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna play it. I want it to be good, and I want to play it. And
Yeah.
it's gonna
Zeke,
be great. It's gonna be fucking fantastic.
You're one of the people I go to get hyped about things. Don't become jaded, please.
I know
don't
I'm
do
not
this.
jaded. I'm just like.
I think he's trying to temper his expectations, is what it is. I think he's trying to
just
remain
imagine,
cool.
I can just imagine it's like this time next year, Zeke's gonna be like, everything's gonna suck at E3.
Everything's terrible.
E3 died last year, guys. All right, I'm not excited for it at all.
Games are dead to me.
Yeah.
Oh man, what else is out there? What about Gears 5? Are you guys? Where's the Gears? I live with a rabid Gears fan. She has a fucking chainsaw modeled after like the gun from Gears of War on her wall over there. So she's just been talking about it nonstop. So
I always like the world, the characters, and even some of the story of Gears. But weirdly enough, like I feel kind of the same way about Gears as I do Division. Like just the gameplay's never really grabbed me. It's always felt kind of clunky. And I don't know, man. I don't think I played Gears after 2, and I don't even remember.
Gears 4 was good because it was on the PC. And so if they do that with Gears 5, I'm in for at least the single player. I'll see where that story goes. The multiplayer is probably one of the most infuriating multiplayers I can think of when it comes to like FPS mechanics, especially back in the Xbox days because it was so host based. There were some controllers that were definitely broken back then. In my neck of the woods. from different lag associated deaths and whatnot. But yeah.
I played Gears 1, 2, 3. I never picked up 4.
Huh. What about chat? How many people played 4? I'm curious. Because I figured that at least you guys would have jumped into it, but a lot of people sat it out. Wow, a lot of... Jeez, okay. I think that's the type of game where they really have to show that something's changed in terms of the gameplay to get people like that did not play 4 like yourselves to really get you interested in Gears of War because it's been the same thing every time.
But then they're in a Borderlands situation where it's like if you change the core too much, you could lose your core fans.
True.
So it's kind of interesting because the more a franchise goes on, you can kind of tell exactly where the developers are spending their time in terms of like catering to the fans of the series or trying to bring in more people.
That's
and true. I have to admit that I hate saying it, but it seems more often than not that when people really try to diversify an established franchise, it does not end up as well. Maybe there's some rhyme and reason to that, but yeah, I don't know, man. Especially it's almost like the longer it goes on, the less you can expect change.
Yeah, unless they just like completely reboot it. But Gears of War 5, if that's the name of it, seems like it's in succession. So it's not a full reboot. Is what I'm getting.
Yeah. I'm not talking about reboots, guys, in chat. Like for instance, Assassin's Creed did a pretty good reboot with Origins and stuff. That was kind of
Sure.
awesome. DMC has kind of continued to innovate as they've gone down the line. There's definitely franchises that break that mold, but there's a lot that unfortunately fit right into it too. So, yeah.
We'll see. We'll see what they show. If anything, it'll look pretty. Gears 4 looked really good on the PC. There's the tornado mechanic that they brought into the game, and it looked really fucking pretty. It was a lot of fun to go through single player wise. What about like platform wise? Let's talk Xbox hardware and what you guys would think need to be there in order for it to be an actual competitor to Sony moving forward. Can they be a competitor? Like, can they get back on the Xbox for Sony thing? Because this generation, Sony's killed them.
If they come out with the same caliber of first party games, like they're going to reveal a whole buttload, right? And if they reveal like some good shit, that's the only reason why I still have a PlayStation, is because their first party shit is good shit.
Yeah.
Great
So
shit.
It's the games that sell the console for me personally. Like the only way I'll pick up an Xbox again, and I haven't picked up. I have an Xbox One that I haven't touched. The only way I'll pick it up is if they have an exclusive that I cannot live without.
Here, what?
And
Go ahead, and then I have a follow up to that.
Well, I was going to say, I know there were more than a couple instances over the, I think Tomb Raider was a good example. Maybe there were a couple others where games would actually run better on the Xbox, and you would still see more players play them on the PS4. It all comes down to library, man. I mean, it doesn't matter how good your gun is if you have no bullets, you know?
Sure.
So it's the kind of thing where I think with this kind of mass studio purchasing we saw over the last year and a half from Microsoft, that it might be indicative of them kind of getting on this. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if in their showcase we get more information about In Exile and Obsidian and how we're going to see that kind of first party stuff really work. Because a lot of people are starting to get interested. Like, you know, Outer Worlds was before Microsoft, so it's going out everywhere. But are we going to see In Exile and Obsidian have, like, now that they're first party, have like Xbox only games, kind of like PS4 has the Bloodborns and you know the From Software stuff and everything. So it's going to be interesting, man. Like this could be the year that Microsoft decides, like, hey, we're going to have a damn good library, and we're going to do and spend however much money we need to do to get it there. And if they do that, that could actually bring the Xbox back into a competitive realm. Because just like you said, man, the PS4 compared to the Xbox wasn't a competition.
Yeah.
I still have mine in my box. There's just no reason to take it out.
Yeah.
So
here's how much code did not use his Xbox. I gave him a code that was Xbox only, and he's like, I'm gonna have to get a PS4 code, man.
Literally, it was what was it for? It was for the code vein thing.
Yeah, Code Vein. Yeah.
Yeah, and JP sent me a code. I'm like, yeah, I really want to check out Code Vein, but I can't do anything. And here's an Xbox code, and I was like, oh well, I mean, I really want to check it out, but I don't know if I want to check it out enough to get my Xbox unpacked.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, just I don't know if it'll reach, but like
We're
there
moving.
they are.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
There they are. There's one,
Yep.
and there's two. There's
Yep.
two of them, and they hold up my monitor.
Nice monitor stands. Nice. Mine functions as a 4K Blu-ray player, and that's it.
Oh, a Netflix one. Nice.
Yeah. Yep. Every once in a while, I will play the Forza game, but that's it. I definitely opened the store when I didn't have anything to play and was like, what's a game that I could just play here in this entertainment room and not worry about not streaming? And it took about an hour and a half till I stumbled upon Forza and their entire game library. So it's pretty rough. Yeah.
Like somebody just said, it's like, here's the Xbox, and here's its library.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
That was a good effect, dude.
That's good.
Did you make that up yourself? Because if so,
No, you got it
bravo.
from chat. That's what I said.
Oh, is that from
No,
chat?
I got
Okay.
that word from chat.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think someone in chat mentioned something.
So, what about this? Xbox been out there talking about the Xbox Game Pass. We've mentioned it before because it's been a pretty good service to get a game free. What was the most recent one that they put out there?
Oh, the big one.
Void Masters? Is that what it was?
Maybe.
Void
There's a
Bastards.
very
what?
popular game recently that had it for free. Yeah, Void Bastards was
Yeah.
it.
Okay. Yeah. It was
Oh,
free
for
on
the
free with
Xbox
Void
Game Pass. Yeah.
for the Xbox.
Which,
Game
by
Pass.
the way, is an awesome game. Like that was
Yes.
like good call, Microsoft. If you're gonna make a free game on that, like, yeah, that's a great one.
So they've been out there saying that the Xbox Game Pass is coming to the PC. It'll have unlimited access to over 100 titles.
Oh, Outer Wilds 2?
What is that?
Outer Wilds is awesome. That's a game I've been playing.
Oh, yeah. I remember. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't know that was free as well. Damn.
So with
Both
all
great
that,
games.
with all that coming to the PC via the Xbox Game Pass, do you think that warrants a purchase? Like, is the Xbox Game Pass something that you two are interested in?
What else does it have again?
Access to 100 different games right now, plus the ones you just mentioned.
Is it
Or-
coming to PC?
Yeah.
How much per month?
Well, let's see how much it actually is on the. I don't actually know.
Oh wow.
I think
Apparently
they,
you
I
can
think
get
they
it
just
now
announced
for
their new
$1.
hardware and just call it Xbox PC.
$10 a month.
Right. Yeah, it's $10 a month for the one that exists right now. Yeah.
If it stays at $10 a month, I'd say that'd be totally worth it. I mean, right now, Outer Wilds I think is $20. Void Bastards is $30. You could pay $10 and then just play both of those into the ground this month and then cancel. It says right here, cancel anytime afterward. So it's definitely the kind of thing where you could pay for a month, play all the games you want to, especially the free ones, and then just turn it off. So, I mean, that seems cool.
Just to add to that, WindowsReport.com is saying that the company is planning to include Sega, Deep Silver, Bethesda, Paradox Interactive, and Devolver Digital in a collaboration with more than 75 developers. Microsoft promised that the PC Game Pass will offer titles on the same day of their official release day. Surprisingly, you will get a discount of 10% on the purchase of some specific games with DLC. You also get a discount of 20% on purchase from the Microsoft Store.
Did you say Sega?
Yep, Sega's one of them. That's
We
also
could see like the
thing.
Yakuza franchise in this.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, they published that, so I would assume so. It's a big move, I think. I think it's a move that would make
Total War
Xbox-
2. Oh wow, that's a good call.
Now, I think this is the biggest question,
Sure.
or the biggest question that I have.
Uh-huh.
Do you think that Xbox will remain a console for years to come, or do they just become a game studio,
I think video games
a
in
game with the
general-
Game Pass and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, I think consoles will, like a physical piece of hardware will start to become more and more just a streaming platform, a way to stream something to a TV box set.
Well, and every time I hear about streaming stuff, it's important to remember that not everyone has access to good internet,
Right.
and some
It's
people
true.
are just never going to for like decades.
Or
So
never will,
honestly,
yeah.
consoles are a culture, and that culture is still around. And also, if you think about how many billions of dollars Microsoft has now invested in this, and how they kind of need a return from their investors, I don't think Xbox is going anywhere. If anything, especially from the last year and a half, it looks like they are trying to grow it out exponentially in terms of where it is and how competitive it is. So if anything, I think they're getting more into consoles.
Well, they did just
so-
release a digital-only console like 2 weeks ago or something like that. There is a digital-only SKU Xbox where it can only download games. There's no physical way to put a disc into it. So I think they're starting to get that in people's mind moving forward. It's the Xbox sad.
Hope your internet doesn't go out.
Yeah, right?
I hate that idea. Yeah.
I mean,
I would-
it was what the original conference when they debuted the Xbox One was about. It was this always online thing, and people lost
Is
their
the
shit.
premise that you always have to be on, or does it work offline just with downloaded games?
I would think it works offline with downloaded games. I would suspect. I don't actually know 100%. Chat might be able to answer that, but I'd be curious to see how those are actually selling and if.
Okay. Oh, good. It's not like an always-on console. Okay.
Right.
Okay. That's cool.
Yeah, there's probably like a
I mean,
license check. Exactly.
To be honest, I mean, anytime I can download a game, I do it over buying it in a physical copy. I mean, I like having it in the library. I like being able to download it whenever I want to. I like that I don't have a disc to lose. Like, so I can see that. I can kind of see that. Yeah, I can
Well,
see
and
it.
even if
And it's
even
also
if
gonna
like
save them a lot of money on all the hardware they need to read those discs and everything.
Yeah.
well, even like if you have like a catastrophic hard drive crash or whatever, the account still has like
Mhm.
your information, so you can get all your shit back.
Right.
Yep.
So like I mean the physical disc thing, like as soon as I was able to leave it, I left it.
I'm the same way. All of
Because
my
I
physical
and, that very good.
are collection stuff now. Like it's not it's
Sure.
collectors. It's like I have the actual disc.
Yeah. Well, and that comes from like I think a little bit of that comes from working at a pawn shop for all the years that I did because we sold DVDs and games and all that kind of stuff, and people would just like take them home, bring them back, and be like, "This doesn't work. It's all scratch." Like, okay, and I had to deal with returns all fucking day, and I was like, I know this is bad for my business, but why don't you just download the games?
Yeah. 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 I'm if it's true that the X Cloud will be the focus of the show, I I want to know what that statement or what that like idea, how that's pitched to us as consumers. Like what they, if they basically just do exactly what Google's doing with Stadia, and they're out there talking about streaming and how much it'll all cost and yada yada yada, or if they try to like wrap it in a nice marketing bow so that it looks pretty, and what that actually, what that product looks like. I'm so curious to know how all that is handled moving forward, because it's going to be a thing. Like Sony's been using streaming for a while now, and they're finally getting out there talking about like, oh yeah, we've been streaming games for a long time. We just don't promote it that much. And now they're starting to with Google's Stadia coming into play. They've got a conference tomorrow where they're going to be talking about launch dates and pricings and game reveals and all that stuff. So it's going to be something that people focus a lot on. I want to see who markets it the best and makes it the most presentable and the one that people are like, oh yeah, let's go with that one. Because that's a hard thing to sell.
Something I wanted to bring up about consoles. When was the last time you guys talked to anybody who was a casual gamer that probably has no idea what Twitch is? When was the last time you talked to somebody like that? Someone who casually games.
Thursday. Last Thursday.
Okay.
Only because
do
I
they
specifically know this.
Do they play their games on console?
Yeah.
And that's like what we immersed in this society or in this like group of people, like that's what I forget a lot of time.
Totally.
Like it was kind of eye-opening. Not because I'm not mentioning it because I was sponsored by them, but Dauntless. Play Dauntless. Play Dauntless.com. Great game. You should check it out. But no, the reason why I bring it up is because it's one of those rare like cross all platform games. Like it goes like Xbox, PC, and PlayStation. You can all play together on the same thing. And when I was playing like offline the other day, I was looking around and like you can see the symbols by their name.
Yep.
Like what thing they're playing on. Almost all console.
Yep.
And I was like, whoa, fuck. I thought most people were PC gamers because that's all I hang out with. That's all I know.
Look, there's a lot to be said about a $400 box that will play games.
Yeah,
And
man,
another big thing, like Dauntless was around for months, years on PC, and it was always this lukewarm, never really big kind of thing. And then the day it releases on both consoles, what was it? 4 million players, 6 million a week later.
They're like a 60,000 queue.
Exploded.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was crazy.
Absolutely exploded.
Yeah. And the game, to be honest, like Zeke said, granted, I wasn't sponsored by them, so maybe it means more coming from me. The game's pretty good. Like, it looks good. It seems like a pretty great free-to-play game.
Like I've said, dude, I can't wait to see Dauntless in 3 years. They've got an aggressive roadmap. Like, I seriously think Dauntless is going to be a Warframe, where it's like starting okay, but then give it some time to get its own mechanics and its own unique stuff in there, and we could all be playing Dauntless in 3 years if they do it right. If they do it right.
Yeah, we definitely could. We definitely could. So yeah, let's talk about the. We mentioned them very briefly, but Microsoft's been on a spending spree, buying game companies up the past year or two. Those companies being Obsidian Entertainment, NXile Entertainment, Ninja Theory, Playground Games, Compulsion Games, Undead Labs, and then the Initiative, which is something that was made in-house and not necessarily purchased. So, Cole, you rattled off some games here. Obsidian Entertainment, what are they making?
Outer Worlds.
They're making Outer Worlds. That's their next game to ship in. We don't know what they're doing for Xbox yet, right?
Yeah, I was going to say they apparently have an unreleased project that is going to be the first one under the Microsoft flagship, and we may get details on that, but I wouldn't be surprised if they're just going to focus everything on OW for now.
Yeah, it'd be cool if they just gave us a name or
a tease or something.
Thing like what are you working on type deal. That'd be really cool. Do you think?
Yeah, don't say OW. I was like,
oh yeah, that's Overwatch.
It just took me 1 second, but it did have to like OW. You mean Overwatch? Oh, you mean Outer Worlds?
Outer Worlds. I'll use the full title.
Do you think that Outer Worlds could show up at the Xbox conference, or is that?
For sure.
Do you think Xbox is going to try to like distance themselves, or maybe they bring it in because it celebrates their company?
It's their company, exactly.
Yeah.
And Outer Worlds. A lot of people are excited for Outer Worlds because it's basically the next Fallout New Vegas. Like this is the people that made Fallout New Vegas making their own next gen version of it. So I think there's a large amount of people that are very excited, and I think Microsoft is going to try to tap into that as much as possible.
That's good.
I've even heard suggestions that Outer Worlds is one of the reasons Obsidian got bought. So
I'm sure. Yeah.
We'll see where it goes.
Yeah.
Is it the Outer Worlds too, or is it just Outer Worlds?
I think it's just Outer Worlds.
I'm not sure what the actual.
Not to be confused with Outer Wilds.
That was really confusing. That was very confusing to me. People were like, "Oh, Outer Worlds is out." I was like, "Wait, what?"
Oh, it does. It is the Outer Worlds. So.
Oh yeah, actually, if you go to their Twitter, it is called the Outer Worlds.
So should we call it TOE for moving forward, or OW?
Oh, TOE. Well, TOE. I mean, I like TO Dub.
TO Dub.
Just call it TO Dub.
Okay, sure.
2 Dub.
2 Dub.
2 Dub.
Okay, all right.
I'm playing that 2 Dub.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. All right. In Exile Entertainment, one of the other companies they bought, makers of Bard's Tale 4. There's a VR spinoff game called The Mage Tales. They did the Torment Tides of Numera, which I think was all of that was kickstarted, right?
Yeah, it was. Hey, chat. Can I interrupt you real quick, JP?
Go ahead.
I'm gonna need all of the internet sleuths in chat right now to go to @BioMarkDara. This is the guy that was moved off Anthem and put on Dragon Age 4.
Uh-oh.
He just put up a GIF of a static screen that is on replay.
Uh-oh.
The only project we know Mark Dara is working on is DA4. Can one of y'all figure out what that is for me?
Why would they announce that though?
I'm looking at this thing and pausing it and trying to find some semblance of something, but I have no idea what this is. I'll put the link in chat for those that want to check it out.
Yeah, I'll pull it up just so we can see it real quick.
Oh shit! I know what it is. Liquid Television's coming back, right? Tell me, Liquid Television's coming back.
That's it. Zeke solved it.
Oh,
he knows. That's it.
Not even a word with it either. That's weird though, because like everyone knows DA4 is coming. So, and I don't know, man. This is a weird one.
That's a weird. What?
There's some blue thing in the center there. I don't know. Weird. Anyway, what do y'all figured out? Y'all are smart folks. You'll figure it out.
We'll keep an eye on
I
it.
feel like it's one of those magic eye posts. I gotta like
Sit there, get real
cross my
close and
eyes a
pull
little
your eyes
bit.
back.
Maybe like something will jump out at me.
Anthem 2 confirmed. Oh God, no.
Jesus.
Oh Jesus. Oh,
Wait a minute.
I don't know if we talked about this on
I'm-
the show. They removed all the dates from the Anthem roadmap.
That sucks. That's yikes.
Yeah, that's like a big oof.
Yeah.
Like they also if you look at the roadmap now, the stuff that's already been done is like bug fixes and basic stuff. And it's like, oh, it's
rough.
not really what you put in the roadmap.
It's a rough thing. You got
I
it,
know what
Zeke?
you're telling me to do. I know now.
Uh-oh.
I know. Yes.
They've
I
got
will.
Zeke.
Yes. Yes. I will go and I will kill.
Jesus.
Thanks, Yuri.
By the way, on the topic of Anthem, that dev stream that they did talking about the patch, I don't know if you had a chance. You probably didn't watch it for whatever reason. I was curious just to see what the chat was like. I feel so bad for those devs that got out there in front of chat and had to do that. It was really bad. It was bad. Like, I feel so bad.
From what I was told, like all of the major features they were announcing in that, like could have been, like a weekend patch event. Like by no means their first major let's save the game content update. We're talking like
yeah, it was not good. There was a banned message like every other sentence in it. Yeah. Oof.
It's just kind of sad at this point. Like it's just kind of depressing.
It is.
Like to think of all the wasted talent and resources, and just you read the interviews about what went on inside, and all just it's like a testament to waste in the game industry. It really just sucks.
Yeah. And it doubly
every time I hear
sucks.
Anthem, it's kind of like, let's not talk about it.
Yeah, it's depressing. It doubly sucks that those guys had to get out there and just be like, all right, put on my bulletproof vest. Let's walk out and talk about Anthem. Here we go. Like, it's bad.
By the way, for those making fun of it in chat, there actually was a lot of well-known names working on Anthem. The problem is just they had no motivation. The company was in ruins. Like there was a huge management issue. Like but there were some great animators, great programmers, great environmental artists. Like there was a lot of talent in it. They just weren't used well. They weren't managed properly. Yeah. And we have Anthem.
Yep. Anyways, In Exile. Have they? So, Coat, you're an NXile fan,
big time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Has everything that they've done since they started making games again in this generation, has it all been kickstarted?
They do kickstart a lot of projects.
Yeah.
I think one of the reasons they ended up going under the Microsoft umbrella is because they want to stop doing that.
Right.
But like their Kickstarter projects have been successful, like Wasteland 2, Bard's Tale 4, that kind of thing. But all of that comes with the attachment of these people like prepaying for things that aren't done yet and then not having their expectations met. So both projects actually suffered some pretty big blowback from their community, even though they were both considered successes. So it's the kind of thing where I think the purchase, as Brian Fargo said in his video, which by the way, I definitely recommend people interested in checking this out. It's the kind of thing where they were done with it. They were ready to kind of, leave that behind and kind of move on into the fully funded, let's just do what we want to do and let the players enjoy it kind of thing.
Have they said anything about what they're potentially working on? Like, is Brian Fargo been out there saying what type of game, what world it's in? Has there been any tidbits of news that you've seen, Co?
We know Wasteland 3 is coming, and that's honestly kind of their big next project. Wasteland 2 is pretty big. So Wasteland 3, I know I'm super excited for it too. Also, we have potentially some more Bard's Tale stuff. They have announced that they may be putting some more things into that. Bard's Tale was I think it was a relatively big success. I don't think it was like a huge game, but it did, from what I understand, sell pretty well. Even though it had kind of a rough start, they did patch it and fix it up pretty quickly. So I can't wait to hear what they're working on. I think we'll see some Wasteland 3 stuff, but hopefully we'll see some new stuff as well from them. I'd love to know like what they're going to be working on now that they're under Microsoft.
Did they self-publish everything, like on Steam on their own, or were they under someone else?
I think with the kickstarting stuff, I believe they did. Like, you know what? Let me look into that before
I'm just curious, like if
Bard's Tale 4 developed and published by In Exile.
Okay,
there you go.
I'm just curious if that could be what they bring. First off, is like, hey, we're bringing all these games to Xbox so that you guys can enjoy them on the console, and that's what we're going to start with. Because I think it would be an easy port, at least going from PC to Xbox One, and would potentially satiate the overlords. Like, hey, here's a thing, take this thing. We'll work on another game while we're doing this as well. Because I don't know how Wasteland 3, knowing what I know about that game mechanically, would that play well on a console? They would have to like.
Dude, Wasteland 2 was straight CRPG.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is not. I wouldn't say any CRPG is really console friendly. Although it can be done, but it's. I mean, maybe them going under Microsoft means that we're going to see like new control schemes for the CRPG for consoles or something. But one thing that's weird is a lot of times CRPGs avoid consoles because they're like super heavy in reading, right, and narrative and everything. And it's not always the best to like read tons of stuff on a TV when you're hanging on your couch, like getting paragraphs of text. So it's gonna be weird to see what they do with it. Everyone was assuming Wasteland 3 was just going to be PC only, but now that they're under Microsoft, I mean, we'll see where it goes.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what comes out of there.
Yep, Wasteland 2 is on Xbox and PS4. Also, Divinity Original Sin, I think, has made a console jump as well. But yeah, I still, they're a little bit from what I've been told, they're still a little bit awkward.
Yeah, I mean those games. Yeah, it's a CRPG. It's going to be tough, I think, on a console regardless. So we'll see what they bring. In Exile, that is. Ninja Theory. They worked on. So that we got to be very clear. They worked on DMC, not Devil May Cry, but the game that was entitled DMC. Enslaved Odyssey, which is some would say like a hidden gem back in the day on the Xbox. I think that was Xbox 360. And then most recently Hellblade, Senua's Sacrifice, which both of you highly regarded whenever that was 2 years ago. What do you think we see next from them? Those are three wildly different games. DMC, Enslaved, Odyssey to the West, and then Hellblade, Senua's Sacrifice. What the fuck do they make next out of Ninja Theory? What does that game look like? I can't even begin to predict what it would look like.
Yeah, a racing game? Maybe an anime visual novel? They'll probably do it well, whatever they do. So
Yeah.
whatever it
It's
is,
a sports
I'll check it
game.
out.
We'll go with sports game. That's what it is.
The next Rocket League?
Yeah,
Sure,
I
why not?
think that was actually one of the leaks that was out there.
It's like Rocket League with League of Legends.
There we go. Let me see what I think the title.
Rocket League of Legends.
Yeah. That'd be good.
Interesting.
Okay, so here, this is segmentednext.com. This is a quick Google, so there might be a better source for this. According to a new leak from an anonymous insider, Ninja Theory is working on an Xbox exclusive game. Already know that. The creators of Hellblade are reportedly developing a sci-fi co-op game that will be revealed at E3 2019. It's a 4-player co-op game that is story-focused sci-fi experience with melee combat. Each of the 4 characters can pick a different abilities for secondary attacks. There's 6 new locations, 18 levels in the game, 3 missions per location. This is very specific. 3 missions per location, and each location offers 90 minutes. Each location ends with a boss fight similar to God of War. Developers at Ninja Theory are using Unreal Engine 4. That's very unbelievably direct. So either someone just ran with this and is having fun, or that's real. A co-op sci-fi melee-focused game. Sure.
That's a lot of buzzwords I like.
I'm into it. I don't know what the 90 minutes thing. I don't know if that means that they're timed missions or what.
Yeah, that is a little weird.
Hopefully that just means that it's like about 90 minutes of gameplay. That would be cool.
Like every other buzzword you said was like it was like thumbs up, thumbs down for me. It was like sci-fi, co-op, boss fights, 90 minutes. That's what it went for me. It was like, yeah, aw.
JP, so next time, let's slow those buzzwords down so we can give Zeke like a solid 3 seconds to react to each one.
Okay, sure. I got you. No problem. Yeah, okay. Is there a name associated with? No, I don't see a name, at least in this article. But sure, that I'd see that game. I will watch that game's trailer potentially on Sunday. So Playground Games, that studio behind the Forza series, they're probably going to have another Forza game. Although, what is this? It's been rumored that they're actually working on the next Fable in some capacity, that they're potentially the people working on that. Let's talk about Fable for a second. Was Fable a good game?
There was a recent article written on what they wanted Fable to be, what it started as. And it started as a magic game where you were designed to influence your environment, like summon volcanoes and create lakes and using all these elements and terrain deformation. That was supposed to be the game.
Right.
And then during the development process, it just kept getting like dumbed down and dumbed down and dumbed down and dumbed down until we get to like Fable 1. So I think Fable 1 was fun. At the time, it was pretty unique and interesting. It did do some fun things that brought new features and mechanics into that style. But at the same time, like it could have been something completely different. Honestly, in my opinion, something a little bit more interesting. And I hate to say it, that over the Fable's lifetime, like it never really got back to that level of innovation the first one had, in my opinion. Fable 2 was pretty good. Fable 3 was like just kind of more stuff. But I kind of feel that they'd have to pull a God of War with Fable at this point.
Oh, totally.
Where it's like, yeah, we've had a lot of the same. Like, let's see what Fable really can be. And they just did that with God of War, and it became one of the best games in a long time.
Yeah.
If they could do something like that with Fable, that could be cool. Like, let's see what Fable was really supposed to be, and let's make it cool. But if Fable 4 comes out and it's just like a Fable 3 extension, I think you're going to have a lot of disappointment.
So denofgeek.com's reporting that the next Fable is going to be, quote, quite different than what came before. It seems like the new Fable game is going to destroy the lands of Albion and Aurora. In essence, it is wiping the history of Fable from the universe. This destruction was apparently caused by a Mad King who wished that the same asteroid that caused the devastation... But that's way too much story. I don't want to read the rest of that.
Potentially. Like, I don't know. Seems like something out during the game.
I'm just seeing if there's anything else. I just don't know what I want a Fable game to look like right now. Like,
I'd like a Fable 4 that plays and as deep as like Witcher 3.
But
like
you just want Witcher 4 though, in essence.
Well,
like,
yeah, but I mean, if we get that, then Fable 4 will work if it's good enough. Like, that's fine. What's wrong with that, JP?
I mean, yeah, sure. Yeah, but yeah, okay. What if it's a Witcher game that's less adult themed and co-op? How's that sound?
I will say a game like Witcher with co-op could be like, if it was done well, could be really cool. Like having a huge world to explore that was actually alive with tons to do and see, and not like a Fallout 76 where it's just like, cool, I can bring my friends along to read audio logs. Like, you know, like something that was actually like somewhat immersive and interesting.
Yeah.
That could be
I mean,
cool.
you know what I really like about co-op games are
Zeke, that's an excellent point.
It's a great point. Yeah, we should really make sure that bullet point is always.
no, dude. Just like co-op always turns me off because it's like, do I have to play co-op?
Well, I don't necessarily. Yeah.
And to be fair, if a game is co-op only, I'm the same way as you just were, Zeke. If it's a co-op only thing, like I'm pretty much out. But I do like the opportunity to bring in friends, especially in games where it's like they can have their own playthrough and make their own choices, and their character can be diverse, like completely different than mine.
Yeah.
Than to bring them in and like see all the cool stuff they've done. It's one of the reasons I love Warframe. Is because every time you group with people, it's like, oh shit, you're using that frame? Whoa, like look at that. Like I didn't even know that. Like that looks awesome. Like that color scheme's great. Like you can see all the work they've put in, and you can appreciate it because you yourself kind of know the mechanics and all that stuff too. That kind of co-op is awesome. But yeah, like cookie cutter co-op and you know, games with co-op where there's like no character differentiation or stuff like that, I feel exactly the same. Yeah. But Co loved 76. I did not love 76.
No.
I
Bring
thought
up
the world
the
was
tapes. Play the tapes.
okay. Yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna keep my mouth shut.
Yeah.
Let's not
You
go
gotta
there.
be careful.
It's been almost 3 weeks since I've ranted. Let's. I want to keep this up.
Here's
Grammy Mayonnaise loved it. Loved Fallout 76.
here's a tidbit from the
Todd
article.
Howard said it was a success.
Jesus. We'll get to Bethesda next. Fable 4, from this article, Fable 4 will supposedly still boast a sizable open world with medieval themes and will still allow you to forge your own destiny based on the choices you make. It will also reportedly allow you to ignore the main quest entirely if you choose to do so. You'll also still be able to build towns and participate in some kind of multiplayer mode. Some notable characters from previous Fable games will also allegedly return. Sure. Okay. That all sounds good. I want to know what that game looks like and how it plays. Was Fable 2 the game where you could like mix spells or have like ranks of spells that were like world destroying or like zone destroying? I forgot all of what the fuck that game was and how it played. Maybe Chad will have to help me. Chat saying yes.
Well, here,
okay.
like when you talk about Fable, I missed the entire boat on Fable.
Yeah.
I took one look at it and I went, this isn't Morrowind caliber. I won't play it. Because I was
And
like,
now
I was
Indie
balls
Sunday.
deep in Elder Scrolls, like, and then like it just went Morrowind to Oblivion, and then I completely missed Fable.
Well, we'll see. I hope we're singing its praises and saying like, yeah, that looks good. It's going to be a thing where they're going to have to come out like God of War did and show something really cool looking and different looking to get people interested in it. If that's what they actually show. I think it's all but confirmed because it did end up in some Mixer and Twitch game directories is what people are basing it off. But it's pretty easy to get a game listed on Twitch, even if it's just a joke. So I don't know if that confirms it, but we will see. Compulsion Games, another studio that they bought. Pretty much, they're pretty much only known for We Happy Few, right?
We Happy Few.
Do you think they make a We Happy Few too?
It would. We Happy Few had such a tumultuous development cycle that really caused the game to release with some pretty major issues. It would, but again, and a lot of that was due to the fan reception and everything, though, and how they basically just changed the course halfway through it. The DLC they recently released was pretty well received, and honestly, I played it and kind of loved it. I thought it was pretty great. But I don't really know what their next projects are.
I like the titles people were giving, like "We Too Happy."
Great.
We Happy Few too. We Too Happy.
We Too Happy. It's a great game name. I'm trying to think like I didn't play We Happy Few. I watched you talk about it for like however long. It felt like a while. You were playing that game for a while.
Oh yeah, there's a lot there if you want to play it.
Yeah, and I don't know what I would add to that so that like I'm personally interested in it. I kind of just would hope that they go a completely new direction with something brand new.
Right? I gotta be honest. If they were to do a We Happy Few 2, I would hope that a few of the core mechanics would be reinvented.
Yeah,
like there's so many remnants of that initial failed development line that they went down that they just kind of tried to change and shoehorn into what's the final project. It's the kind of thing where you don't want to be building a second floor on a shaky foundation.
Right.
Like they kind of need to reinvent that if they do. I mean, I'm sure they could keep a lot of stuff the same. There is some really cool stuff about We Happy Few, but a large portion of it would need to change if they wanted it to kind of. Also, I hate to say, but a lot of people were pretty burned about We Happy Few. Like when it released, it was rough.
Oh, I remember. Yeah.
When I first
shit
played
all over it.
When I first played it, like that little beta or alpha or whatever it was called, like
yeah,
that shit was trash garbage. It was surprisingly bad and annoying to play.
That was one of the reasons survival, right?
Completely changed it. Yeah, like you played Zeke. The final game is almost nothing like. Like they kept some of it, but they completely reworked other parts of it. Yeah,
I played a little bit of the re-release or the finished product, excuse me, and it was a lot better. But man, when I first remember the hype around, like maybe not the hype, but like remember like the it was kind of intrigue around We Happy Few.
At least that
trailer, man.
I saw like the booth at a PAX, and I was like, this game looks fucking like Brave New World shit, like Aldous Huxley awesomeness, and I'm like, fuck yeah, let's go. And then I played it the first time, I was like, what?
Dude, you took the words out of my mouth. That's where I was going next. Is like, if they show a trailer, I hope in said trailer we get gameplay explanation. Or they talk about what that is actually going to be, because you're 100% right. That trailer that they showed, where did that actually, was that in E3 when that debuted? Do you guys even recall? Was it a PAX?
PAX or anything? It was a big event. It was it was definitely a thing. But yeah, like that trailer sold the style,
huge.
Sold the ambience, the world design looked great, the narrator was awesome. Like that trailer was not what we got.
Right.
Like there was such a huge schism between that.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's pretty rough. Because I mean the whole game was supposed to be a roguelite at first. It wasn't even supposed to be a story-based game. Like that was never how it was designed. The premise was that everyone's on drugs, so the world is constantly changing all the time. They never remember anything. It's kind of a cool idea on paper, but then the implementation was terrible. Like it just didn't work. It didn't work. So they just converted it into a single player story adventure, like mid development. And then they took all the systems they made for the roguelite and just like rejigged them to work in a single player story. It's really weird. Like what's also even stranger is during the main story of We Happy Few, you play multiple characters. And every time you switch characters, they use the world randomization script. So it's like you when you switch characters, everything changes in the world, and there's like different things in different places, and it's just kind of like, why? Like it's just strange. It's strange. Clearly, some like half-finished ideas.
Well, we'll see what. Hopefully,
I mean, I'm sure they put a lot of time and money into that particular like world-changing thing. So it's like you buy a Ferrari, you never drive it, but you leave it out front so everybody can look at it. You know, it's like, hey, I bought it, right there. See,
but you can't play it right now. You can't go back to it. Yeah.
They have. There hasn't really been post-mortems, but they've done some interviews where it was very clear that Compulsion was very self-aware about the issues. So hopefully their next product will be a lot more kind of like streamlined, learn from our mistakes kind of thing. I think they could still make a really, really good game. It's a very solid studio. They just need to kind of, buckle down and beginning to end something, I think. Maybe not show it to the fans this time until the vision's realized.
We will see. I hope it's a brand new thing. I hope We Happy Few is dead and done, or done and dead. They're going a new direction with something. Another game that I think can kind of be lumped in with We Happy Few in terms of good premise, not necessarily the best execution. Undead Labs, makers of State of Decay and State of Decay 2, are working on something new. They got purchased and they're working on something new. I hope. Do you think let's do the same thing. Do you think State of Decay 3 is that thing, or do they go somewhere new? Like, have they fully realized what they wanted to with State of Decay?
State of Decay 2 was a really well-made game, but it wasn't quite there for a lot of State of Decay fans. Yeah.
I think it just needed to cook more, to steal from chat. Like it was the type of game where, at least when I was playing it with some other streamers, it didn't feel like a fully realized game. It felt like they put a bunch of mechanics into it and were like, all right, we can go and push this out there and see how it goes. And it didn't go anywhere. That said, is it something that you guys think you'd want to see a third one from, or do they push a whole new direction and remove themselves from that State of Decayness? What do you think?
Yeah, I played it. I see it in my Steam category or catalog. I played it for like an hour.
Yeah, that sounds about right. It's very buggy.
And
I actually played it a long time.
I remember that.
Yeah, totally forgettable, I think.
Yeah. Best part of the game for me was driving around and seeing the desync, and then just seeing the car fucking spin up into the air 1,000 miles while I'm still on the ground driving the air. And that was my State of Decay 2 experience.
I like hitting small objects that should move, but for some reason don't, sending your car into an abyss of turns, stumbles, somersaults with an eventual explosion. That was always fun. And then you load the game and drive into that same object, and your car would just bump it out of the way.
Yeah. Yeah.
I remember.
Just being buggy.
Like the fucking doors. Like,
yes, the doors flap. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
That's correct. You always thought the car was going to take off suddenly because of how much the doors would flap. Yeah. Has Undead Labs done anything besides State of Decay? Is that their only game that I just wonder, like, if they go a new direction, if they've made another type of game that would be more suited to their development.
No. On their website, if they do make other games, they're not promoting them. The only games on their website are State of Decay and State of Decay 2.
I bet you we see State of Decay 3 then. Because didn't that sell well still? Didn't it do pretty well financially?
Honestly, it wasn't, like, it released pretty buggy. I don't know how. I never saw a post-mortem on it, so I'm not sure how well it actually did. It's on the Game Pass. So there you go.
Yeah, sure. That makes sense.
I don't know. I don't know how well it sold.
A couple people in chat are saying it sold pretty well. So and it's always a little bit weird to say because it was on Game Pass, so they might have gotten out in front of people that didn't pay for it. Essentially, was it on Game Pass from day one? That might have been like one of their day one releases for Game Pass.
Yeah, actually, at Microsoft's E3 in 2017, it was announced that the game would release in spring 2018. Additionally, the game will also be available to play at no cost on the Xbox Game Pass at the game's release.
Yep.
So that would have completely skewed any metrics on that.
Yeah. And I mean, they probably got
GameSpot
it out there,
gave it a 5 out of 10. Game Informer gave it a 6 out of 10. Like, yeah, people weren't thrilled with it. IGN gave it a 7.5, which is, a real man's 4. So
I bet you we see a State of Decay 3. I bet you they continue pushing down that line. We'll have to see. What was that, Zeke? What was the sudden chuckle?
No, I heard you said State of Decay, but I heard State of the Gay, and I was like, it is Pride Month.
Sure. If you're gonna launch it now.
I don't ask me if I just like giggle like
I should learn my lesson.
Don't ask me that shit because my brain is stupid and it works in dumb ways.
I should expect the infantile joke, but every once in a while I enjoy those jokes as well. So that's why I ask to see if I will partake or not. And then the last thing, The Initiative, which was the studio that was just founded. The studio head is Daryl Gallagher, who formerly helmed Crystal Dynamics. Crystal Dynamics is... Yeah. Did Chris... Who are the people that made Tomb Raider? Is that Crystal Dynamics? The new Tomb Raider?
the new Tomb Raider?
Yes.
Yeah,
it's Crystal Dynamics. Yeah. So he's responsible for that stuff, the reboot of it. They're also the developers behind the new Avengers game. We don't know what they're working on. So I bet you we see something big come out of them for sure. This E3.
I would love a new Legacy of Kain. Oh my God, that would make a lot of people
Was that
happy.
Crystal Dynamics?
Yep.
I want to say it was.
Well, he's
Legacy
the former
of Kain
head, so they'd
Defiant.
have to buy that.
Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaver. Yeah, they have that. It's in their it's in their library in Steam.
That might be at the Square conference. That could
I mean,
be something new.
Well, granted, we haven't heard those three words together in like a decade. So I don't think there's any indicators. But I mean, it's the same as like, oh, I want to see a new Armored Core. It's just one of those like games that would make a good sequel in today's day and age. They just haven't done it. So speaking of which, we need a new Armored Core.
Look, From Software is making the Dark Souls games and probably more Dark Souls style games, and that's probably it. Probably just more just Souls. Maybe they'll do an Armored Souls, and then that's what we'll get.
Hey, just saying. I loved the Surge. If they ever made a Souls game where you actually played like it was a Godzilla style like Souls game where you were in a giant suit of customizable armor and you were fighting giant enemies and like cityscapes and stuff, I'd be all over that. Like that could be really cool.
You sold me on that. I'd be into that too.
Oh, Chrome Hounds 2. Oh, I would love Chrome Hounds. Let's get a new Chrome Hounds. Let's get Two Human 2 right after that. Then we'll have the new Legacy of Kain, the new Armored Core right after that, Bloodborne 2 after that.
Fucking Chrome Hounds. I have not thought about that game in 10 years.
I don't even know what it is.
It was like a mech game.
Crazy customizable mech game from back in the day. It was super cool. And what's even worse is they announced a Chrome Hounds 2 and then it just like fell apart or something. I don't remember what happened, but I was so excited for the next Chrome Hounds. I ended up loving that game. I farmed in that game. Same with Two Human. Like those were like, oh God,
Two Human is great.
Control Scheme was completely revolutionary. To this day, there has not been a game that has mastered the dual control stick controls like Two Human did. It was so cool. Like you would point them both towards an enemy to do like slide attacks, and then one towards the enemy and one opposite to like spin around in an AoE, and then you could do like combos with them. It was so cool.
Two Human was the best B game I think I've ever played. That's the only way I can describe that as like the best B game. It's a shame that who is the figurehead that was crazy, like the first big game drama bullshit. What was his name? The developer of
Randy
that.
Pitchford.
The second first big drama, Dennis Dyack. Holy shit! I have not heard that name in years.
Yeah, decade. Yeah. Oh
Holy
my God.
Fuck. Didn't he like? Oh God, that I remember when that whole ordeal happened. Man, what a thing!
Wait a second. February 21st, Dennis Dyack is coming back from the dead with Dead House Sonata, a new game
I'm good.
where the player is an undead character fighting the living.
I'm good.
Oh,
Fucking
well.
Dennis Dyack, man.
There we go. You're an anti-hero with some frightening capabilities, like jumping high in the air and slicing anything that's in your way as you come down.
Jesus,
Wait, is this for real?
that I.
Oh my God, it is.
Oh God,
Oh my
Okay.
God, it is.
Dennis Dyack, man. What a fucking guy. What a fucking guy. That's pretty much what we can expect from Xbox. I'm sure there's going to be some stuff that we didn't cover because they're trying to keep it
There
under wraps,
might
etc.
be Deck 13 stuff there.
What was that?
I'm hoping it'll be there. Deck 13. Surge 2.
Oh, okay. You don't think they'll save
I-
that? Are they? Do you think
Might
they
be
would
the
say they're
PC
PC gaming? Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know how close Deck 13 is with Microsoft. I heard some inklings a while back that they were doing some kind of partnership thing, but I didn't see anything come of it, so I'm not sure. But yeah, dude, Surge 2 is shaping up. Like I am really excited for that one. I actually really enjoyed Surge 1. One of the few.
I'm gonna put this out there.
Now hold on, real quick.
Okay.
The Surge. Sorry, was that like mech Souls game?
Dark Souls sci-fi. Yeah.
Surge 2 was the Dark Souls-esque game where the player's in an exoskeleton.
Right. Okay. I remember like playing that and going like, it's got all the core things right, but there's nothing exciting about this game at all.
That is the general consensus of that game.
I would agree.
Okay.
It's the general consensus is hard okay.
Let me put this out there.
That's a rough thing to say though. It's like,
Well, the thing is, like,
It's
here's
a
the thing, though. I
hard mess.
really, it's actually a pretty awesome game under the hood. You just have to really put some time into it. They have this crazy, like, multiple new game plus system that they put a lot of time and care into. You can upgrade all the different things, tons of different builds, some really fun, interesting weapons. Like, there's a lot of fun stuff in the Surge. And now that it's out with 2 DLCs and stuff, like, it's a good time to check it out. They also have a bunch of patches under their belt. But it started as kind of okay, but the more you play it, in my opinion, the better it got. And the last few levels were notoriously difficult, like really, really, really hard to get through. Enemies would one-shot you all over the place, even on the easiest runs. Like it was tough, but a fun game. It was a fun game.
Here's why I think it shows up at the PC gaming conference. I bet you that game becomes an Epic Game exclusive. 100% I bet you that game's an Epic Game Store exclusive, without doubt. We'll see if it comes true.
Could be.
It's on Steam.
These days, man,
That doesn't stop Epic. Yuri, what are you talking about?
oh no, yeah, it does not
Nothing
do that.
stops Epic.
That's Metro, right?
Yeah, the wallet opens up and people just jump right in and fucking start
Yeah.
Scrooge
And
McDucking
here's
that
the thing.
money, man.
if it's on Steam, that's like putting a bullseye on it for Epic. I mean, think about Metro. Think like they will rip games off Steam if it's advantageous to them. They will tell Steam, yeah, you don't get this game anymore. Like we're pulling this out of your library if they want to. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, like I just pictured like just like a cartoon of like the Epic Game Store like being like the hamburger, like
No, it's Scrooge
and
McDuck,
like,
man.
boink, and like
That
picking
too.
games out of like Steam's pocket.
They're working in it's Scrooge McDuck and the Hamburglar have joined forces, and it's the Epic Game Store.
I would say it's like the opposite of Scrooge McDuck, where
How
it's
so?
like he just like sits there like doing this all day. Like
Oh, so he's Sir Scoots. He's the esports Sir Scoots. Okay, all right. Scoots
they
does
just
seem
need to
like the guy.
throw their Fortnite money around, man.
Yeah, Scoots would work with the Hamburger. I would think. I think that's a match made in heaven, to be honest. So
Well, yeah, it's like if the hamburger put like a wad of cash in place after they stole the game. They're like, here you go, boop.
yep,
Okay.
yep,
Yeah.
yeah.
Hamburglar, Epic's new mascot. Nice cat.
I like it. I like it. Couple other people in chat were saying, like, what about Ori? I think Ori 2 probably shows up at the Xbox conference. I think we'll see that game again. Too much happiness. People definitely want to see what that game looks like after another year. Probably even, I don't think they've put a release date to it. We might get that this year. I bet you that comes out this fall. It's been cooking for a while. The second rendition of that. And then we'll see what else. Should we try to name all 14 games that Phil Spencer was talking about as our final Xbox conference
Ooh.
discussion? I'll list
We
them
could
out.
try.
You ready? All right. Halo Infinite,
Hold
number one.
Hold on.
Okay.
I'm going to open up a word pad here.
Okay.
Okay, let's go.
Halo Infinite, number one.
Yep.
Gears 5, number 2.
Here's 5. Let's get the ones we know out of the way. Outer Worlds will be there because that's going to be that one. Probably Wasteland 3 because that's going to be In Exile's next big project. So that covers Obsidian and In Exile.
Mm-hmm. Forza, a Forza game. Probably.
Forza, there we go. Ori 2 will probably be there.
Yep.
So we're up to 6.
Is Ori 2 first party? Did they?
Oh no, actually, you're right. I don't think they bought Ori. What were the other they bought In Exile, Obsidian, and then wasn't there a couple others?
Ninja Theory, Playground Games, Compulsion Games, and Undead Labs, and then the Initiative. So probably a game from every one of those studios, I bet. So
There'll be a Compulsion game, a Ninja Theory game.
That's 7 games total, right there, just from those studios.
What was the studio you mentioned before Compulsion?
Playground Games. Those are the Forza people.
Oh, okay.
Fable 4, you can list that. Probably. That's probably a thing. I guess you could count them as separate games, but we'll probably see more on the other Gears of War, the Gears Pop game, and then that Gears XCOM thing. Yeah. What are we at? How many people? 8.
Did it decay?
Oh no, I think they already said that Watch Dogs Legion is not going to be there.
Well, that's also not first party.
CZ James says Outer Worlds is not first party. It sort of is, even though they don't own Outer Worlds, they do own Obsidian, which is the company that's going to make it. So even though it's not being published by Microsoft, I'm pretty sure that Microsoft still gets some of its hands on it somehow. Wouldn't be surprised.
Battletoads, probably.
Probably.
I think that's all, but I think that leaked. Let's see.
Didn't Scalebound die?
Yeah, that's dead.
Yeah, Scalebound's gone. Dragon Age.
Not first party.
Not first party.
Skateboarding game. Someone was saying like a skateboarding game, Sessions or something.
Isn't that
Is Dying Light 2 going to be at the Microsoft conference?
No, that'll be at Square. That's already confirmed.
Yeah. I was going to say.
Also not first party. Probably
Can't
something
wait.
Age of Empires. In Age of Empires being remade, and aren't they like remaking that or remastering that?
Bowser version or something.
Yeah, that'll be there. I bet you that'll be there.
Yeah.
What are we at? There's 7 studios. How many games outside of those 7 studios have we named? Halo Infinite, Gears 5, a Fable.
Oh, Fable. Maybe.
Do you think we see anything Minecraft related? I mean, Microsoft owns Minecraft. It's a fucking
they got that
game.
new phone Minecraft thing coming out, so we'll probably hear more about that. The Build the World or whatever it is.
I could see that. I think you have
Probably.
to mention Minecraft. It's a monolith rather in the gaming world. You probably do.
Hey guys, Dying Light 2 is not going to be at Microsoft. They've already announced it's going to be at Square Enix.
Yeah.
Borderlands 3 is definitely PC.
Yeah, but it's also
Yes, because of the Epic Game fiasco.
we're gonna say this has to be first party for Zeke.
Oh.
For chat, first party, meaning
that's right.
Microsoft develop. I'm doing this so you guys stare at me while I'm making weird motions. Microsoft developed. That was more at chat. That was more at chat. I'm sorry, Zeke. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. I'm better than this. You're right.
Look, I'm just prepping you because I know Zeke's a fucking taskmaster there or not Zeke, sorry, Wheat's a taskmaster at E3. All right, so you got to stay on point. I know how he handles it.
I'm trying to chime in, but I don't give a fuck about Xbox at all. So it's hard for me to like.
Hey, I get it.
To care.
I get it. I understand. I understand.
The Night Dive Studio, that's not owned by Microsoft, right?
What is Night Dive?
Night Dive Studios are the people making the System Shock remake, and then Warren Spector's actually also working on System Shock 3. So we kind of have parallel production of a remake and a 3.
I don't think they're owned by anyone.
I don't think they're owned by anyone.
Well, we're only at like 10 games, right?
Dude, I have no idea after this 10.
I don't know
and
what
some
the
of these
fuck it's going to be.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what. Okay. There's a lot of unknowns. I'm very curious now. what that'll
And that's just the 14 they're going to talk about. Apparently, they're going to have a reel, I think, as well for their indie stuff, and there's probably going to be like a lot of non-first party things. So this really could be their biggest conference.
Yeah, new console stuff, the cloud stuff as well.
We mentioned Bleeding Edge. Is that a thing?
Oh, that's something. That's like a name that
Ninja Theory.
Yeah, that's that sci-fi co-op thing. Oh, so that's the name of that. Okay, the name of the project.
Oh yeah, okay. Bleeding Edge.
I didn't know that.
Like,
yeah. Okay.
Oh, for those suggesting Stalker, that will if there's any Stalker stuff, which you guys know, Stalker 2 is going to be a thing now officially. Thank God. It would most likely be at the PC Gamer conference. I don't think we'd see Stalker at Microsoft.
I would agree.
I'd be surprised if we see anything Stalker though. It's be a little soon.
So that's Xbox. It'll be me, Zeke, Co, and Rami doing the Xbox conference. Starts at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. UTC. That's for the Europeans out there. So hopefully you guys will join us for that. Starting off with potentially the biggest show. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. Those times are right, Zeke. I see the hesitation. You look.
I'm not saying they're not. I'm just saying, did we work that out already? That I would be able to make those?
I've already worked with your handlers. Yeah, you're good.
Oh, okay. My handlers. Good.
Yeah.
Good. Take it out of my hands, please. Thank you.
I already have. Already done.
Already done.
Already good.
Amazing.
They will have a PC ready for you. We're doing testing Saturday evening. They'll have a green screen and an XLR mic for you.
So fucking worthless, aren't I? I'm just like,
no. This is all my doing. This has
not be trusted to do anything.
No. This is a reflection of my neurotic self, not yourself.
Yeah, sure.
I've already reached out and handled all this stuff. Yeah. Okay. Anyways, we could take a break, or we could shit on Bethesda.
I really have to go to the bathroom.
Well, you go take a shit. Me and Co will stay here and we'll take a shit on Bethesda.
Metaphorically. Please.
Boom. Good one. All right.
Okay.
I'll be right back. I'm gonna go take a 76.
Yeah, go take a 76.
Ouch.
What do they show? Doom Eternal. I don't care about anything else. What else do they show? What the fuck is at that conference?
New Wolfenstein.
Sure. Okay. 2 games.
That was pretty cool. There is potentially a new project from Arcane Studios, maker of Prey.
Sure. Cool. Yeah.
Anything concerning Blades is going to be toxic as shit.
Yes.
ESO just released a major expansion, so I doubt we'll see much about ESO at E3. Although I'm sure they'll just, as they like to do, they like to masturbate their own stuff about that.
Yeah, so. You have to marketing.
Yeah. Let's see.
Here, we talked about this last week. I think we talked about it last week. Is the word Fallout said? Do they mention Fallout as a brand? What do they mention about it?
Here's the thing. They are going to start talking about Fallout 76. Within the first couple lines, they're going to talk about how it's sold amazingly and fans everywhere love it. And then they're going to focus on all the updates and things they put on it. They're not going to mention any of the drama. And then they're going to end probably featuring some parts of their roadmap coming up.
Do you think we get an audible boo from the crowd?
I think that everyone who cares to boo it has already left.
You might be right.
I think at this point, 76 is just diehards. And which is really unfortunate because Bethesda is treating them like shit.
Yeah.
You should see, there was a recent interview about the equipment stuff in the game. And the guy basically says straight up, the only reason we put that stuff in the game is because it's super annoying to farm the stuff you need.
Sir, you're not supposed to say that out loud. That's what you keep to yourself.
Jesus.
Maybe he didn't get that memo.
So that's the thing. But I do hope that one day 76 gets to the point where it's like good. I mean, I still want to go back and finish my 100% at some point, but it's rough. It makes me kind of sad to talk about 76 because it's kind of in the same situation as Anthem, where there are actually a lot of pretty decent people that are not only working on 76, but trying fundamentally to make it a success. But they're literally streaming. They're swimming upstream. They're swimming up a waterfall. They're not even swimming up. They are literally at the bottom of a waterfall, just like trying to get up to the top of it. And it's just a rough situation. But I think they're going to do their best to try to make it as good as possible, because frankly, there's still people out there that are still people spending money on it. So I mean, they need to make it every penny they can make on 76 at this point. They're going to try to do. It's one of the reasons we see the cash shop going away from cosmetics.
Right. I don't know what Bethesda can do for more than 30 minutes for a conference. Like Doom Eternal, I guess you could show like 15 minutes of gameplay or 20 minutes of gameplay. Wolfenstein, probably show some gameplay. Fallout 76, no more than 5 minutes.
We'll probably see Rage 2 stuff.
You think they announced DLC for that?
I think they will. Rage 2 actually sold pretty well.
I'm sure it did,
even though it wasn't critically received super well, and it has its fair share of major issues.
Marketing,
from what I understand, it sold pretty well.
The marketing and the trailers were really well done. Yeah.
So that's something we'll see. No, they've already announced that we will not be seeing ES6 stuff. We will not be seeing Starfield stuff. That is confirmed not to be there. So unfortunately, I think, I hate to say it, but like that really could have saved the conference. Like if we would have gotten like a nice 15-minute block for each of those games. Yeah. There's been some teasing that maybe they're gonna potentially announce the next big single player Fallout game, but we'll have to see. If I were them, I would wait a year for the Fallout 76 stuff to cool off. But I mean, even if they were to tease a Fallout 5 thing, we're not going to see that for 4-5 years, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got Starfield first, and we haven't even heard about that one. And then they said they're going to wait for ES6 until after the Starfield hype dies down. So that could probably be a year or two, depending on how well it is made. Yeah, it's oof.
What is Bethesda is it the conference where they could get away, or rather feature the fact that's like, hey, here's a new engine that our future games will be on. It's not necessarily like a gameplay reveal, but it's a like engine reveal. Is that something that could potentially occur?
Doubtful, because they've already announced their next two major projects are on the same engine. Okay. So I if they were to showcase a really nice, well-made new engine and then be like, but our next projects are using it, like that would be kind of shooting. Yeah. What I can say is what I say all the time, like Bethesda as a developer has more than some ground to make up at this point. Bethesda as a publisher is pretty good. Like they're pretty good with their companies. Their companies are churning out good games like Doom, like Prey, like the Wolfenstein stuff. Like they're a pretty good publisher. So the more they kind of focus on that and the less they focus on Fallout 76, Blades, and ESO, I think the better that conference could be received.
Yeah.
I will say though, it's very strange to me that they aren't like Starfield and ES6. That's what people are really interested in right now.
Yeah.
And it's like they're working to not provide information on it. I don't know, man. It's a little awkward.
Yeah.
Oh, ESO is great. Yeah. I'm not talking ESO. ESO just released an expansion. Like I don't think ESO is going to be there because, and by the way, ESO is ZeniMax, but ZeniMax owns Bethesda, so whatever. But no, I don't think ESO is going to be there because they just had a major release.
They'll probably show the trailer though, and that's it.
Yeah, I think they're just going to talk about how great it is. I don't think they're going to announce anything new or big about it. No, I was just talking about ESO yesterday on stream. Like it's come a hugely long way, and people are saying the new expansion is pretty great too.
Yeah, I've heard the same thing.
More power to them, man. And that's the only reason I don't like ESO is because its existence alone has most likely prevented single player ES games. That's basically it. But these days, I mean, it's a very successful, pretty decent MMO. So yeah, that's what we've been saying for a while.
Someone in chat.
Todd will be there. Yeah, Todd will be there.
What was that, Zeke?
Dishonored.
Yeah. Well, something from that studio, right? From Arcane. It's either a Dishonored thing or a Prey thing.
It might be Dishonored, but with the finality of the most recent micro expansion and also the lack of success that it had, I would be surprised. Yeah. For those that have played, I think it's called Death of the Outsider or something. The most recent kind of micro expansion. Right. There's a lot of finality in that. So
but they made their own world.
What's that?
Yeah.
Like Dishonored is its own world, right?
Oh yeah, completely.
Dishonored 1. Like I think there's more stories to tell if it's just a made up world. Like I think you can do lots of shit with it.
Yeah.
I'd love a Dishonored 3. I just would be surprised if we saw it. I'd love to see more Prey. That would be pretty phenomenal. Prey was awesome. I feel like it was a sleeper hit. A lot of people skip Prey, but I thought it was pretty great. So I would love to see more from that. But we'll see. Also, for those that ended Prey and watched past the credits, there could be a Prey 2, like in a big way.
Yeah.
So that could be cool.
Yeah, I would love to see more shit from Prey for sure. Anything from Dishonored, anything from Arcane Studios. They usually do
Arcane's
pretty
great.
alright.
The only issue with Arcane right now is two of their heaviest hitters, the person that essentially made the studio and the guy that was the primary director of Prey, have both left the studio, which kind of sucks. They didn't leave on like horrible terms. Apparently they were both kind of like, we're just kind of done. Like we've done, like I think the main guy was like there for 17 years or something. So, but it's a little like those guys were the people that made Arx Fatalis. So to not have them there is a little kind of not nearly as bad as the current BioWare situation, but it is a similar situation.
Right.
Did Arcane did Evil Within, right?
No, Evil Within is something else, and that's what I was going to say next. Someone in chat said that said something, and I followed up on it. Shinji Mikami, who is I'm trying to find his actual title with that game, with Evil Within. The creator, let's go with that. It might be wrong. He tweeted that he's going to go to E3. Now, whether that's for, he's there for business, whether that's business to get the game made or business he's going to be on the stage announcing Evil Within 3. Who's to say?
Yeah, dude. Cryptic Shinji Mikami tease stirs up E3 2019 speculation for Evil Within content.
Yeah. He's a game director.
They wrote an article about this.
Yep. Yeah, it kind of has some buzz as of yesterday.
Dude, Evil Within 2 was awesome.
You really celebrated that game, specifically the ending. I've watched the end of the game. The gameplay looked okay. The story was more interesting than the game for me, which is why I watched it.
The ending is a 6 out of 10 if you watch it. It's like a 9 out of 10 if you've played through it and are invested.
It was still pretty good having not played it. So, yeah. How did that game sell? Like, that's one of those games where I'm just like, really, that game sold enough to make a second one? And if there's a third one, it's really that game sold well enough to make a third one? Like,
the second one
actually
was more critically acclaimed than the first, just because I think a lot of people expected Evil Within 1 to be a Resident Evil game, and it turned out to be something a little bit different. So there was kind of like a dissonance situation with that. But Evil Within 2 was a lot of people really liked it, and from what I understood, it sold pretty well too. So a 3 would not be out of the realm of possibility.
All right. Well, he might be there. That might be their like announcement thing that a lot of people don't know or don't know they want yet. You got the look on your face, Zeke.
Well, someone in chat said I don't even know if it has anything to do with the
all right,
the same conference.
Gotcha. And then besides that, like, again, what year was it? Was it 3 years ago where Bethesda had a conference and they literally showed nothing? Was that whenever that was? I feel like we might have a repeat of that. Besides Doom Eternal.
Quick note. I'm sorry about this. Apparently, the guy that I thought left is still there. Ricardo Bear.
Oh, he came
at
back?
Arcane Studios. So that's kind of awesome news. I didn't know that. That's fantastic.
There you go. It was 2 years ago. Okay. So yeah, Bethesda's kind of a wild card. There has not been very many leaks besides the fact that Doom Eternal will be there. Todd Howard's been out there and said some things. The fact that like Starfield's coming out before Elder Scrolls 6. It's very likely the next game from Bethesda Game Studios. Yeah, we'll see. So we know for sure that we'll see Doom Eternal, and I think it's all but confirmed that we'll see Wolfenstein. Apart from that, it's the big, who knows? It might just be a shit show. It might just be a 45 minute, an hour long conference and we're done. But we're going to cover it. It'll be me, Zeke, and Shannon, as always, a mainstay in the Bethesda conferences, will be joining us, and Ammunition will be there as well. Zeke, I guess, has never been there for any of this, so expect some squealing from Shannon. She's a hard Bethesda fan, so you got to be careful.
Oh, I've been around Shannon before. It's okay.
Sure, yeah.
I wonder what she would react that way to this year.
I don't know. I don't think anything. I haven't talked to Shannon about it, aside from her just agreeing to be on it. We might see an unhinged Shannon Zed Killer this year. After everything that's happened. We'll have to see.
She's already a little bit of a boiling kettle, like waiting to
true.
like.
It's true. You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Oh,
You just
You gotta be careful.
I'm going to let Zeke finish his thought. What were you saying, Zeke?
Okay, let's let him finish. Let's go.
well, boiling kettle more than one way because she boil, and then it's just.
Okay. Sure. We'll see what she has to say. We'll play that clip back for her on Sunday night, and we'll get her rebuttal.
Oh, please do. Please. I don't need to sleep at night. It's okay.
What were you gonna say, Co? Do you remember?
Oh, I was just going to say, I saw some folks in both chats mention this. You do not see my name on Monday or Tuesday because I'm watching the show solo.
Right.
But the second the show is done, I will be hosting Drop Frames and immediately moving over to Drop Frames for the post-show discussion. So I will actually be at every single show. I will just be watching them solo on Monday and Tuesday.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
We're trying something new this year. Maybe we'll go back next year. Well, we're just doing some testing and stuff. We'll see how it works.
We'll see how it goes. So yeah, the post shows will be a 5-person show, but the restreams on Monday and Tuesday for PC Gaming, Ubisoft, Square, and Nintendo will be 4-man shows here on Drop Frames. So yeah. I think let's take a break, or we could just go 3 hours straight. You want us to go 3 hours straight?
Whatever you guys want.
Let's go 3 hours straight. We'll just make this one thing because I'm worried about time now because we took a lot of time on Xbox and Zeke's been satiated, so we're good.
Oh yeah, I already had my Fallout. We're good.
Yeah. Next up will be Monday for the life of E3, as far as I'm concerned. Ubisoft will start us off, right? Oh no, PC Gaming starts off on Monday. Sorry. We'll get to Ubisoft soon. PC Gaming will be going down. What time is that? That starts bright and early at, well, early if you're Pacific time, 1 p.m. Eastern and 5 p.m. UTC for that. It's going to be an interesting one. We've got Burke and Bike Man joining us as well as Baru. I'm excited because when I think of early access, I think of the late shift, and I think of that Barrow Trauma shit show that we played last week that we're not going to talk about except for me mentioning it just now.
I was hoping I want to hear you talk about it, though. I want to hear you because I had the same kind of experience.
Look, my experience for Barrow Trauma was, is that a grenade? Oh, shit. Let me grab that. 5 minutes later.
Yep.
And then, oh, God, what happened? Why am I on fire? And then me just cackling on my stream. And that was great. And that was my fun that was had with Barrow Trauma. Obviously, a little bit different experience for you guys because you were on the other end of that grenade, I do believe. But, yeah, that was the thing. That's Bike Man's and Burke Black's wheelhouse is the early access world. So I'm super excited to have them join us for that PC Gaming because I think we're going to see a lot of early access stuff if years past are anything to go by. In terms of the people that have confirmed that they will be showing up / rumors, dev-wise, we'll have Annapurna Interactive, Chucklefish, Digital Extremes, Digital Uppercut, Fat Shark, Fellow Traveler, Modus Games, Raw Fury, Relogic, Rebellion, Coffee Stain Studios, Donkey Crew. Great. That's a new game studio made up of Mountain Blade modders working on Lost Oasis, the nomadic survival MMO. That's about what makes sense to be there. And then, of course, sponsoring the whole thing, or I don't know, is it sponsoring? What do you guys think? What?
Yeah, I'd say it's sponsoring.
Okay, sponsoring the whole thing is Epic Games and the Epic Games store. So I wonder how that's going to be segmented. Like, we'll start with that. Like, is it going to be like, here's all the games that are PC gaming games. Here's all the Epic Game Store exclusive games. Like, what is that?
No. I really wonder if the whole point of this show is that a dude in a business suit is going to walk out at the end of it and be like, and all these games and more available exclusively on the Epic Game Store.
Knowing Sean,
I don't know, man. Like that, even the crowd that came to see this show might boo.
well, that's what I'm saying. Like, knowing Sean as a person and knowing Sean as a host, I feel like the first thing that's going to happen is he's going to take a crack at the Epic Game Store. Or like he'll have someone like bring out a briefcase full of money or something and like hand it to him, and he'll say like, thank you, Epic Game Store. I'm glad you bought me 2 or something like that. Like, he'll definitely play into it.
Excellent move.
Yes,
That would be a great self-deprecating move on Epic Store's part, which they are in short supply of these days. That could go a long way.
Yeah,
I would love to see.
Go ahead, Zeke.
Okay, I just would love to see like some dude with like that briefcase full of cash, and every time he says the words like Epic, Fortnite, or anything like that, like anything related to that, just hands him $100 bill.
So
like every time
in the whole conference, or even better yet, just without Day 9 showing anything, he just throws a stack of money and it just hits his face. It goes into his lap.
I'd be.
Yep.
Look, man, if there's ever a time to like seek out some sort of or some sense of being humble or just acknowledging what the general populace thinks of you as a company, E3 is the biggest stage of the year. So do it here. I don't know a better time for them to somehow acknowledge that shit. I think they really like need to, right? Like you mentioned Epic Game Store on Twitch or if you go on Reddit or anything like that, and within seconds you'll have people fucking saying the most vile shit about it. So they could really use some, I guess good faith is like the term I'll use, or some sort of thing that people just don't think Epic Game Store and slime or money in the same kind of thought.
Dude, couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
And that could go so far for them right now. I mean, they've basically used all of their infrastructure money to kind of to corner their respective market. And the only big thing they're lacking right now is any kind of a public relations strategy. Like they have been doing nothing but shooting themselves in the foot PR wise.
Totally.
For basically since the store opened. Let's be blunt. Like they've done almost nothing to regain. The only thing they did to try to get some of that credit back was that big Epic Games sale. And even that had major issues. Yeah. It's like where they did it without properly talking to all the people on the store, and that caused games to pull out. And it's like the one thing they really tried didn't even work. So, and even then it was kind of in some ways skeevy how they went about it. So if they can figure out that piece of their puzzle, that would probably bring them more success than anything they're doing now.
Totally.
Especially
it's a scary thing when the people sponsoring a conference could be the most talked about thing simply because their presence is there. Not because of what they're announcing, not because of what games are around the company. Just the fact that Epic Game Store is a sponsor for this could be the biggest story coming out of this. And what they do in the conference is probably going to be the biggest thing. No matter what's announced in here. Potentially, no matter what's announced in here. In terms of what actually could show up there, I have questions in the sense that, is this where Borderlands 3 is going to be shown? Or is that going to be at Xbox? Or what? Where does Borderlands...
Oh, for sure.
First party games, JP. How many times? Oh, sorry.
Oh, wait. No, they're Epic Game Store. You're right. Sorry.
Everything that we're expecting that's on an Epic exclusive, we can probably plan on. I mean, this is essentially like, this is going to be an Epic showcase.
Yeah, fuck.
So this is going to be their platform to show all this stuff off. There's going to be a lot of other companies we're really interested in there too. Like we're hoping and expecting this is where Larian is going to drop their bombshell that they've been working on at Larian. In fact, by the way, today apparently they added music.
Today, yeah.
If you go to Larian.com, apparently there's music there now too. But yeah, everyone is pretty convinced this is Baldur's Gate 3, unless Larian pulled one of the most epic trolls of all time, which would have been faking the metadata inside the image. And if they actually did that,
that's great.
wow, like, that's incredible.
Into that, yeah.
But
Why
yeah,
would
at
they,
this
though?
point, we're 99% sure it's a BG3 release.
For the very purpose right now, Zeke, like Baldur's Gate 3 would be a huge thing, but the other game that they could be working on is also a big deal. But Baldur's Gate 3 transcends the CRPG genre fans, I think, and goes...
It brings together generations.
Yeah, for sure.
We're also probably going to hear a lot about Larian's little... I hate saying this when I say it about Larian, but we're going to hear about their little money spinoff, which is that little, like, they basically licensed off the Divinity Original Sin 2 game world to this other company that they're kind of working in conjunction with to make this like weird combat oriented. I've heard it's like a mobile-ish game. I'm not really sure what it is, but apparently Larian main is focused on whatever this big 3 thing is, and then they're like in a supervisory style role for this other project. What was it called again, guys? I can't remember the name of it. It's I think it's Divinity Original Sin 2 : something. Divinity Fallen Heroes. Thank you. Fallen Heroes. That's what it is. Yeah, people are saying it's XCOM style, but I think it's more just DOS 2 combat style. Like I think it's just similar to that.
Got some breaking news here. I don't know if this is breaking, but apparently whatever they're working on, if it's Baldur's Gate 3 or whatever, will be a part of the Google Stadia conference tomorrow, and not the
What about that too?
not the PC gaming thing.
You know what else do we know about that Google Stadia conference?
I know it's fucking shitty that it's on YouTube and I can't restream it on Twitch. I know that. It is tomorrow. Funny enough, if you just open up the Twitter app, it is one of those advertised/sponsored tweets that just pops up in your feed. So I'm trying to find it. Of course, it's not going to when I actually care about it. So I'm going to have to Google Stadia. But
I will say, though, a CRPG would probably be the type of game you would want on Stadia.
Totally.
Because that is not Twitch-based. If you had a little bit of lag, you might not even notice it. Now, granted, Baldur's Gate 3 is most likely going to be RTWP. It still will most likely, hopefully, work well. I still have such major issues with Stadia. I just don't think our infrastructure is to the point where it's going to be something we can really do. But
we can divulge a little bit and talk about it. It's going on tomorrow at 9 a.m. Pacific, which is noon Eastern, I think.
RTWP is real time with pause. That's as opposed to turn-based. Like DOS 2 is turn-based. Real time with pause is Pillars of Eternity, Baldur's Gate, Arcanum, Planescape Torment, that kind of thing.
Well, let's circle back to the PC Gaming Conference, because I should have talked about this at the beginning. They're announcing the price, the games, quote, all the news tomorrow for Google Stadia. I don't even know where to begin with this. There's so many things that they have to like prove and sell people on. And I don't think you can actually do that in a conference unless at the end of it you announce, try this demo now, and they just push out a link. And you're able to go play something in real time, FPS or whatever, just to see it happen in front of you. Like it's such an odd product to get out there and show without actually being able to play it yourself. Because the product is not necessarily the games, it's the technology behind it. And it's not a box that you hook up to a computer. It's like ethereal in the sense that it's not tangible. So I don't know what they actually show to like facilitate any of that or to quell any of those fears tomorrow when it comes to the Google Stadia stuff.
Another thing that's kind of interesting. So Google owns YouTube. Google owns Stadia. I'm looking on their Stadia Twitter, and I'm even seeing something here like defeat a boss that someone said was impossible. With the Stadia controller, you can capture your epic triumph with a click of a button and share it with the world.
Yep.
But I don't see barely anything on here about YouTube. So you would think if they were having like an online only streaming console that they would like directly plug it in with YouTube gaming and kind of make that a huge thing.
Yeah.
I'm not seeing anything about that on here.
Again, something they have to show and they have to like talk about tomorrow, because there's like, how does the whole thing work? How does the service work?
Oh, wait. I'm sorry. YouTube gaming is dead. I
Right?
forgot about that.
How does that function in like? They have
Yeah.
to talk about that shit, and they have to show people how it's all going to fucking work with
Thanks, chat.
where it's all at.
What is dead may never die.
That's true. That is true. That's a true statement. Yeah, and again, if they have Baldur's Gate 3 tomorrow, is that enough to get people like in a world where Baldur's Gate 3 is a Google Stadia exclusive? Does that worry you? Does that how does that feel? What does that look like?
Slime.
We're seeing it. Look,
I know.
that's what that looks.
It could totally be a thing. It could, in fact, Google could fucking put his. We're talking about Epic spending money. It's fucking Google. They print money in the Google store.
I would be baffled if Larian abandoned their PC community. That would be a move that I would not expect from Larian Studios.
Do you think anyone would go exclusive on the Google store? Is that something that Google would try to push?
Ton of money. So I think there are certain studios, especially first release studios, that would probably be interested in that. But it's really, I don't know, man. Like that's a tough one. That's a tough one. Oh, and some other good points in chat. Wizards of the Coast would probably not want to do that either. They're a big part of Baldur's Gate.
Wait a minute.
So,
you're talking about the company that sells you spells from their book on D&D Beyond piecemeal wouldn't want to just make money from Google? Come on now. What the fuck are we talking about here?
well, when you say it like that.
Like, what's really going on here? Hasbro wants all the fucking money.
Been rooted in PC gaming with their IPs licensing. That's generally what I meant. So the
Sure.
trend would stay with PC.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, you're right, dude. And I mean, when you're talking about Google, you're talking about like billions, not millions. So, I mean, that's a lot of billions. It's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Also, should be
does
noted.
crazy things to people, JP. It's
should be-
crazy.
Clarification: WotC does not own D&D Beyond. They're two different things, as far as I am aware. And chat's awareness is that awareness for me. So, but still, I people like money. Money talks.
Oh, it's true. As somebody just made the point in my chat, if you really want all the money, you don't restrict it to one platform. You put it on as many as possible. I mean, that's a good argument. Unless, of course, it's an Epic situation where they're just literally buying your success on every other platform.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know, man. Money like skews this so much where you have to consider that.
Let's play devil's advocate for a second. Is it really that bad of a thing if Baldur's Gate 3 can run in any browser on anything? It just loads in a browser and works?
As long as the quality of the content doesn't suffer because of it.
Sure.
But that's the gigantic red flag these days. And I don't think any browser game is to the point where it would be like a fully fledged full screen PC game in terms of usability and performance and stuff. I mean, that's
what they're trying.
Kind of good, and that's what they're trying to do, but
yeah, I
just don't know if we're there yet.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. We can't restream the Google Stadia stuff, so that's why we're not gonna. It won't have a presence on Twitch, and I think that's a pretty big misstep. But at some point, I'm sure the execs are like, "Why the fuck do we need Twitch? We're Google, god damn it." That statement is probably something that happens a lot in those meetings. Is we're Google, god damn it. We don't need anyone. We can do whatever the fuck we want. The word will get out.
Probably with that exact same terms too.
Yeah. Yeah. So we'll see. I want to know what happens. I think I'm pretty excited, more so than most of the conferences for tomorrow.
Their motto used to be, what was it? Don't be evil.
Is that what it was?
I think wasn't Google's motto for the longest time like I can't remember exactly what it was, but now it's like Alphabet. Fuck it.
Oh God. Yeah. Yeah. So that's tomorrow. There will be E3 news, I guess, tomorrow at noon Eastern it'll be the talk of the day, I'm sure. Especially if Baldur's Gate 3 there, and what else? We can also mention this. There was a leak that occurred today, which is a pretty big fucking deal, not only for Destiny fans, but I think just people that have played or are around Destiny. People are saying, including Jason Schreier of Kotaku, that Destiny 2 is not only coming to Google Stadia, but that it's getting cross-save. Which, let's break that down. What does cross-save actually mean?
Cross-save implies that you could play on your PC, then turn that off, open up a laptop, fire up Stadia, and continue that playthrough. That's what I would think.
Okay. So it has nothing to do with like a PC version and a console version. It's literally just like across.
I think the premise
PC
is that,
platforms.
that Destiny 2 would move the whatever files it needs to track all character data into a cloud situation, and then you could then pull that down on whatever system you're playing it on and just keep playing it. That's a complete guess, but that's what I assume it would be.
Okay. Jason Schreier kind of talks about this. He says, what we've heard, I'm reading right from his Kotaku article. He says, what we've heard from 5 sources, a combination of plugged-in tipsters and developers, is that Destiny 2 will be one of the big games available on Google's new streaming platform. We also expect Ghost Recon Breakpoint, which is the Ubisoft game that they debuted like 2 weeks ago or something like that, which would make sense why they debuted it then and not on Monday, because Monday it would already have debuted on Stadia's thing tomorrow, so it would be old news. So they wanted to get out there in front of that. Makes sense. And a few other big games to get announced for Stadia. If Stadia works as promised, players will be able to load up a Google Chrome browser and jump into Destiny 2 on any computer or device that supports the service. We don't know how much yet Stadia services will cost, but we'll find all that out tomorrow. And then it just goes on to say Google's holding a press conference, et cetera, et cetera. He also says, what I've heard suggests some combination of subscription and a la carte pricing. So about what we expect.
Here's what I want to see. I want to see a group of 6 people on Google Stadia do the hardest raid in Destiny 2. I want to see them PvP, and I want to see, and when they're done, all of their opinions on exactly how that went. Like, when you say a game like Destiny 2 and Ghost Recon, I think of even like milliseconds of lag, like mouse acceleration issues can ruin it, let alone like playing that on an always on system. Like that baffles me how this is going to work.
I want to be very clear that this is not a knock on those type of games. But if there was a type of FPS game that you launch a solution like Stadia on, it's not a Call of Duty. It's not a Counter-Strike Go. That would never happen because it's Valve, whatever. It's the type of game like Destiny or Ghost Recon where as long as your cursor is on a giant object and you're pulling the trigger, it's going to connect. Like, latency is not that much of an impact on that game, in my opinion, compared to something that's like competitive, like a Call of Duty or...
Which game are you talking about?
Like Destiny or Ghost Recon, the 2 games they talked about.
Like Destiny 2 PvP? Have you watched that?
Yeah. I think I'll put my neck out there and say, like, yeah, I don't think latency, like, it matters, but it's not, there's not tournaments based on it. It's not like esports competitive, so it doesn't matter too much for the PvP. So
what about a game like...
what was that? Sorry, I cut you off.
What about a game like Overwatch?
That would be tricky. I think that's where you would start getting into... It might work, yeah, but yeah, I think that would maybe be the one that breaks me and says like, yeah, that would be a good test for sure.
Also, I noticed someone earlier in chat say Code just hates Stadia. Let me say this real quick. I don't hate Stadia. Over the years, I have seen many Stadias live and die due to the exact issues I'm worried Stadia is going to have. And granted, each system gets a little bit better. They never get it right. So in fact, honestly, I hope Stadia works. I hope it's revolutionary. I hope it's amazing. That would be great for everyone. That would push gaming forward as a whole. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
But what I'm more concerned is going to happen is Stadia is going to come out. It's going to have a tiny bit of noticeable lag or maybe a few pretty major issues, and that everyone's going to try to sweep those under the rug because it's Google. That's what I'm worried is going to happen. And then all of a sudden we're going to get a subpar gaming experience that's being heavily promoted by $1 billion company, and that's going to be really shitty. That's what I'm worried about. It's not that I hate Stadia or anything like that. I'm very skeptical. I've seen this exact tech fail
Totally
like 3 times now.
To double down on that, I don't think Co's saying that he's apprehensive about this. The thing is crazy. I think the crazy thing is to be like, fuck yeah, let's go take my credit. That's crazy. Like, no one has solved this. It's been talked about for years. No one's done it.
The only stuff we've seen from Stadia, there were pictures where it looked either completely faked or horribly laggy. So it's like, like that's not good. So we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. I hope it works great. I hope it's revolutionary. We'll see.
Yeah. We'll find out tomorrow. What's the price point that makes sense? You think $100 a year? Is that too much? If you get full access to those games?
You have to buy the controller?
No, you can use like an Xbox controller, but the thing is that the controller connects straight to the server, whereas like an Xbox or PlayStation controller connects to the PC and then connects to the server. So there's like some lag time there. So that's why they say like you want to use the Google Stadia, at least if I'm understanding the tech right.
I think what you just said would probably be a good starting point, but they'll probably nuance it with like, 6 free months, and I'm sure, but I think like around $10 a month would be competitive. I mean, you talk about Xbox Game Pass, and that's a huge amount of games, including brand new games for free for $10 a month. And that's kind of who they're going to be competing with. It's essentially a big game library you can play with you want or when you want.
Yeah.
So yeah, that would be about right.
I think if it's $100 and you pack in a controller with it, that's a pretty good, like a Google Stadia controller, not like an Xbox or PlayStation controller, whatever you want to use, an Astro controller, whatever. Insert controller brand here, but yeah, I think like $100 makes sense on an annual basis. That is, it's the type of thing where I would think you'd want to price low to get people to at least try it, or have like a X amount of days free trial to see what the whole thing's about, or some sort of demo so that people can understand what it's going to look like. And I hope it's the type of situation where tomorrow in this conference, they're like pushing live links out there so people can, they do exactly what they said at the last one, where they're fighting a boss. Maybe it's a Destiny boss. And at the end of the demo, they push out a link. You can take that link, put it in your Chrome browser, and immediately start playing right where they just left off. That would be a great show of the technology, because they've said that's how it's going to work. They've said exactly that in terms of how it could handle stuff, which would be fucking crazy if they show that and they make that happen. Great test and a great way to get your product out there and a show of good faith and get people talking about it if they can try it themselves.
So you're saying they would provide the link and then we could all do it from home?
Yep.
Yeah, that would be amazing. I think that's honestly like what people like me need. I need to see it and play it with my own eyes and hands. Like that's honestly going to be the only thing that is going to actually sell me on that tech.
Yeah.
That's real smart.
And here's the thing, chat saying the servers would die. What if it didn't? Google can probably make that happen to where they just spin up fucking cloud servers ad nauseum, because it's Google and they have some of the biggest server farms in the world, to where it wouldn't crash. There's no website to crash in that sense. It's just a service. So they throw you into a queue, if anything. It'd be kind of nuts. And maybe the whole thing of YouTube going down the other day was them trying to get some of this situated. And they had to take it down for 4 hours or whatever. Who's to say? I don't know. We'll find out tomorrow. It's very interesting. And if Destiny's there and Baldur's Gate 3 is there, they can make some big waves.
I will say there's a couple names that have definitely been around for a long time in my community that are saying that they alpha tested the Google streaming service with Assassin's Creed Odyssey,
Yeah.
and a lot of people really enjoyed it. And like Esmon Twitch just said in chat, he had no latency issues when he was playing it.
Yeah.
But again, I wonder if that was just because of the sample size. But I don't know, man. I don't know. That's encouraging. That's encouraging. Apparently the test went well.
If they do a good job, they could very well steal the entire news cycle from E3 this weekend. If Google like nails it tomorrow and puts out a fucking hell of a press conference with some sort of like global test that people can just jump into, they could take everything this weekend in terms of the news cycles. But I don't want to overhype it. It could be a gigantic shit show. Who knows? That's why I want to tune in and see what the fuck happens. I'm really curious to see how it all goes down. So the Google Stadia thing will be happening tomorrow at 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern. If you go to Google and type in Stadia, it'll come up. They have a link already out there to the live show and where it's going to be happening. So we're jumping back over to the BC Gaming. What are you laughing at?
Well, same guy just brought up a really good point. He says, I get really nervous thinking that I couldn't play any of my games if Comcast were to go down. And that is a good point. Like Stadia will be the definition of an always on system. Like, right, there's not going to be any offline play with Stadia, right?
I don't think so. I don't know enough to say otherwise, yes or no. But yeah. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. We will see.
I just had a random thought. Could Google say you can't stream Stadia on Twitch? Not the press conference, the actual platform.
It depends on how they structure their terms of service. Is Stadia a service in which the content is applied on, or is Stadia the owner of everything that's on it? It's kind of like it'd be kind of similar to how Twitch works. Because, well, no, here's the thing. Theoretically, if Stadia were to say that, then that would mean any content put on YouTube created with Stadia would then be owned by Google. And I don't think they would make that leap.
Yeah, legal wise, that's a leap.
But again, I have no idea how that would actually work. So this is all guessing. I doubt they do that.
Yeah, that would.
We've never seen a console or service do that in the past.
They'd be shooting
So
themselves in the foot.
it would be weird for them to do that. It would not only be weird, but it would be a whole lot of controversy that their brand new system does not need.
Yep. What was that, Zeke?
Oh, I'm just for those of you who are wondering why I'm not talking, it's because I don't have anything to say like intelligently. I can't speak intelligently about Google Stadia or anything like it. I'm not well versed in it, and it's not something that I am particularly hyped or nonplussed about, or I'm not particularly hyped and kind of nonplussed about. Just like, another like streaming service. We'll see. Like I'm not like going, this will change the game, because the game will remain the same. It's just another place to play games.
About that first part, though, Zeke, I do want to say, don't let that hold you back. I don't think me and JP have any idea what we're talking about either.
Yeah, we're just parroting shit that we've read from chat. So
I'm just making shit up and putting words that I think sound good together.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
yeah,
chat seems like it sometimes.
To be fair, Zeke, I think you're the exact person that like Stadia has to grab, right? Like they're not successful unless they grab the people that don't care about their product to begin with. So.
Well, that's what I was trying to think of. Like, how would they grab just average old gamer Joe like me? Like, how would they grab me? Like, when I'm just like, I don't give a fuck about what platform. I mean, you got to give me something that no, I can't get any other place. And then I'll be fucking hyped about it.
Does the appeal of you pulling up your phone, playing whatever game in 4K 60 FPS, putting your phone down
on my fucking phone?
That's what they're promising.
That's what they're saying.
And then looking at your computer. Hold on, I'm not done. Looking at your computer, opening Chrome and seeing that exact game load in a second, and you're playing it there. Is that something that's appealing?
No, not at all. I don't. If I'm playing mobile games, like the mobile games and the PC/console games, they don't mix for me.
Sure.
Like for me, it's certain games are good on the go. Like I like playing certain games on the go, but if I want to play like a really in-depth or immersive or performance-heavy game, I want it on my fucking expensive shit that I paid a lot of money for.
And I mean, feasibly it could be there. Like they're not saying it's not going to be on your TV, whatever. They're saying it'll be on all platforms to where you can just, turn it off and turn it back on in a second or so.
Right. Yeah. And I totally get that. But like for it to be viable, like I would have to have like a phone that was this big, like, nice, like fucking tablet phone.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just, I'll wait and see. Like, because I would love to be surprised. I would love for this to be like something that's brand new and it's maybe it'll make me game on mobile. Maybe that's what the outcome is. Maybe it's like, hey, we're gonna get you. We're gonna make this game. You're gonna be addicted to it. So you're gonna want to take it everywhere you go.
Yeah. Well, because at some point, right, it starts to blur the idea of what a mobile game is. Like, to use what they've already, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, that's not a fucking mobile game.
Yeah, exactly. Like, what is a mobile game? At that point, it just comes down to user interfaces. That's it. Is it easy to use on a little screen? That's it. And then we're going to start seeing games release with full screen UIs and mobile UIs, and it automatically detects when you switch, and it just switches your UI so you can play them easier on each device.
It's true.
Like that will be pretty wild.
Yeah,
that will be pretty wild.
Bolt Action Potato says, "How much has Google paid you? Be honest, man. You can't. There's like $1 billion Google bucks right there.
I've seen it.
Zeke's seen it.
For those that don't know, JP actually moved recently. He just built his house out of dollar bills. Like it's just money.
It's really good insulation, believe it or not.
Yeah.
It doesn't work so well for Windows. They're kind of flappy. You got to stack like a thick thing of $100 bills, like real close to each other. But
I know a fix to that. More money.
I need to just put some more money in those windows. Yeah.
No, his roof is shingles made of dollar bills.
Oh yeah. Toilet paper. I literally wipe my ass with hundreds, so that's good.
Oh, while we're talking about companies and will Google allow streaming and stuff, can we just give a shout out to yet again CDPR, who put up their video policy today? They tweeted out their video policy. We encourage everyone to create videos using content from our games as well as live stream them to the public. We think it's awesome you guys make all these fantastic playthroughs, walkthroughs, let's plays, achievement guides, video reviews, and more. Please feel free to publish your content on YouTube, Twitch, and other video sharing websites. Like it, what's hilarious is one of the top favorited comments. Nintendo has left the channel.
I'm gonna say it. Do they just put that out there so the fucking gaming world will just suck their cock nonstop for that day? Like, what other world? It's not like what?
That's exactly what's going on, because whenever Philip Morris or something like that donates like $100,000 or $100,000 or $1 million to charity, they spend $40 million advertising that $1 million they gave to charity. That's exactly what CDPR is doing.
I think it's just because CDPR knows that they're doing it right, and they want to make sure that that they're doing it
right. They love building that good faith.
That's all it is. Like,
yeah.
They at some point do some pretty major sacrifices to do the right thing in a lot of ways, and they want to make sure and I'm okay with that. I think that's cool, as long as they aren't trying to like mask any devious shit or anything like that.
I love these college freshmen in chat that are going, "That's marketing, guys." Like, fucking yeah, we know that.
Yeah, of course we know that, but I feel like the circle jerk around CDPR is approaching like cult-like status, to where they could put out a game and be like, "This is CDPR's shit," and everyone would be like, "Oh, it's great." It's awesome. And I just wish
CDPR is getting up to like Kojima and Todd the God status of being like, they can do no wrong. They can do no wrong.
I don't think anyone's compared. I think Todd has fucked himself real bad the past 2 years.
Well, sure, late.
And I think Hideo Kojima, most people are like, "Oh, Kojima, he's so fucking weird. I'll play it, but man, that's some weird shit." Like CDPR is just like, Yes, I'm in. Here's the credit card.
I love that tone you took with Kojima, where he's like that
Yeah.
goofy French. Oh, Kojima.
Yeah, he's like the weird. He's the weird kid that everyone's great and feels bad about what happened in his previous job. Yeah. Anyways.
Oh man.
Yeah.
No, but for the record, I mean, here's the thing. I think that's exactly what's going on with CDPR. But I also think that they are a pinnacle of how to do it right in a lot of ways. So it's like, sure, it may be over the top, but at the same time, like, they deserve a lot of their rep currently. I mean, let's see how the Cyberpunk release goes and everything, and how much you're going to put into it. But I don't think it's a situation where it's like we're fawning over a shitty company.
I do want to be clear.
No, yeah.
I don't think I'm a CDPR hater. I think I just don't like rampant fanboyism around a certain product. Because I was definitely there with Blizzard, I think, at one point, and looking back, like, that was not a good place to be at all. Like, it was bad. So I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Dude, I'm gonna be a CDPR fanboy until they release a shitty product.
Witcher 1 was awful.
What was?
The first Witcher, wasn't that a bad game?
No, you're a bad game.
Hold on.
Yeah, and
Hold on.
I hate agreeing with Co. I hate being.
Was it a good game? Am I completely wrong?
Witcher 1 and 2 were fucking
Hold
fantastic.
on.
Go back and play them.
Hold on. I can't trust chat because it's just a bunch of coalites
Here's the deal.
here.
Here's the deal.
I gotta ask
Witcher-
Twitter, but that'll be my
Witcher
chance.
1,
It's not
Witcher
like-
1 had some issues, had some notoriously terrible control schemes, and it was buggy when it came out. However, it was their very first game, and if with all the patching and stuff that it's gone through, it has become a decent game if you play it properly. There's a lot of caveats to it being a good game. It's
a
not just like
decent
a good
game if you play it properly. What the fuck statement is that?
Well, because like let me explain. Like it tells you to use the keyboard and mouse, but if you try to use the keyboard and mouse, then you wrestle with the control scheme. But if you just use the mouse, it's actually really bearable and easy to do. So it's kind of weird. Like it's you know, like it's strange. It's strange. But again, if you figure that out, then it's perfectly playable and great, and it's actually pretty easy, and it's a really good time. But yeah,
No, we're not fighting. We're not. I'm just generally here's my struggle with this is that Twitch streams are effectively an echo chamber for each streamer, and Ko's fan base likes CDPR games, so they're going to echo what Ko's saying. My fan base generally agrees with me with it not being the greatest game, so they're going to echo what I'm saying. So I actually can't get a real fucking opinion on it.
For the record,
Good.
it was their first game, and it
Sure.
and it felt like the first game.
Sure.
Like it was not a great experience. Witcher 2 was miles ahead of Witcher 1
I
in
will
terms
agree
of
with that.
usability and gameplay. And then Witcher
I would
3, of course, capitalized on that.
Sure.
And now people are hoping that Cyberpunk is going to capitalize on that. And as long as they keep that trend going, I think they'll be great. But that's what I'm saying. Like, nobody knows if that trend's going to keep going. Nobody knows if Cyberpunk 2, when it comes out, is going to be any better than Cyberpunk 1. Maybe Cyberpunk isn't going to be good. We don't know yet. So
Well,
it's you know, we'll see.
Sure. Go ahead, Zeke.
The Witcher came out 2007, so like 13 or 12 years ago.
What else came out that year? Do you have that information? This does not matter about E3 at all. I'm just dead curious.
No. Like as far as that goes, as far as the era that it came out in 2007 on PC, like
Was that Mass
I
Effect
think
1?
it was.
That was the year of
Sure.
Call of Duty 4. That was the year of BioShock. That was the year of Portal, of Crysis, of Halo 3.
And these are all
And it was
console
one of-
games.
Maybe that's why I don't regard it, because I played all those other games and didn't partake too much in. My
Unreal
comparison.
Tournament 3, Command and Conquer 3, Stalker Shadows of
I missed
Chernobyl,
it.
God of War 2. That was a huge year.
That was a good goddamn
Mass
year.
Effect 1?
Jesus Christ.
But like you, JP, I missed it because I was not a PC gamer yet. So I went back and played it just like 3 or 4 years ago for the very first time. And I'm able to forgive it because it's an older game and it was a PC game and that kind of stuff. And my personal opinion is I really enjoyed The Witcher 1. People said, like, you can just skip Witcher 1 and go 2. It's like, really, though? Should I? And enough people were like, mate, just give the first one a chance. You're going to have to forgive some shit because it's there's some shit needing forgiving. But if you can get past that, it's a decent game. And I played it. I enjoyed the fuck out of it. I really did.
Witcher 1 is like a small version of what's called Eurojank, which is like the Gothics and the Elixes
This is
and
not
stuff like
helping
that.
your
Like,
case. You guys should have just stopped. I'm not interested in it.
I can't help that you can't find appreciation in easy to digest games, JP. I don't know what I can do.
You guys you're like, well, I mean, you gotta, like, if you take a step back and you think about the games and then you.
Dude, we
you
haven't
learn-
even got to Ubisoft or Square Enix yet, have we? Like, or Nintendo? Jesus Christ, let's keep
Oh
moving.
my God.
Fuck's sake. Done. We're done with this. Let's
We'll
go.
follow this conversation up on episode 200, and I won't tell the chat why, but it's coming back. What are we talking about? PC Gaming Conference. I know it might look like me and Co get into these conversations, but we fucking love doing this. Don't get us
For
wrong
sure.
at all. This is great.
Also, I love that on this show, like everyone has distinct different opinions on this stuff. It makes
Yeah.
for interesting conversations, and nobody's
It's good
wrong.
stuff.
So no, this is one of the reasons I love doing this show, dude.
Yeah, that's
Fantastic.
why I love it too. I love it too. We need to make that clear before people start fighting in chat over. Anyways, doesn't matter. What else? So, what are the big things that are going to be at the PC Gaming Conference? Do we know? Have there is the Outer Worlds? Is that?
That'll probably be my.
That's Xbox. What did you say before that when I cut you off?
Well, Stalker might be there.
Okay.
Larian Studios will probably be there. Maybe some stuff from Paradox. See some Paradox Vampire the Masquerade stuff there, maybe.
Oh, that's right. That'll definitely be there.
Also, there's this.
That'll be at the
new,
PC?
okay, so get this.
Probably.
There's apparently 3. Okay, we went like a decade without any good vampire games. Arguably, Vampire was kind of cool, but like Vampire the Masquerade. Now in what? Excuse me, I'm dying.
Co. Well, I've already lost it. You got to keep
You've
your.
been sitting too close to JP. You
Get it.
got it.
I just screamed loud. I'm not sick. You can't get me sick.
Okay, we went like a decade without like any hints of a vampire or anything, and then in 1 year we get Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2. We get the makers of the Council making a new vampire game, and then like last week we get a new vampire narrative RPG announced. This was announced just a few days ago. Apparently, there's a third Vampire the Masquerade project. It is not a Bloodlines project, interesting enough. It is a Vampire the Masquerade something else. It has a Steam page up, and if you go and look at it, there's no screenshots of it, and it says it's a narrative experience. So maybe Telltale-esque.
Huh.
Not sure, but it's kind of wild. Like I don't know if like a publishing contract expired or something, but like, boom, 1 year, all of a sudden, Vampire is back. So it's going to be interesting to see which one of these do well. All 3 of those projects have a lot of potential, or 2 of them at least. The Council one I think is going to be great. Council was a phenomenal game. Having them have the Vampire the Masquerade IP behind it, that could be great. So hopefully the voice acting will be a little better. And but then Bloodlines 2, the more we hear about Bloodlines 2, the better it's sounding. So
Dude, I'm watching like the video for Bloodlines 2. It looks fucking awesome.
Dude, not only that, but the more we hear about the RPG mechanics in the background, everything that comes out about Bloodlines 2 since that initial trailer is making it sound more and more like the original, which is awesome. Like in-depth skill trees, lots of customization in the classes, RPG elements, a lot of the game taking place during the Masquerade phase, so you have to pick and choose like when to expose yourself and everything. Like that's the bread and butter of Vampire, and honestly has made some of the best memories in my opinion. Like, yeah, it's gonna be cool. It's
First
gonna be real
person though. That's okay.
What's up?
First person. Wasn't
They said it's going to be first person
third?
with some third person elements. So apparently, like it may be kind of like Cyberpunk, where it's the gameplay is first person, but then when you talk to people, it zooms out and shows your characters and stuff.
Okay, JP, you want to know what I'm hype about? I'm hype about seeing more of this.
Yeah. PC Gaming
For sure.
Conference? Okay.
For sure. Bloodlines 1 is an old game, and it had the graphics were a little bit difficult to get around, but everything else was perfect. It was wonderful, and I loved the personality of it, the way the story played out. It was great, and I'm really fucking jacked.
Cool. Sounds good. I just realized what I'm interested for at the PC Gaming Conference. Relogic has, I think, confirmed that they will be there. Relogic are the developers behind Terraria. Sorry, I thought I was going to say more, but no, we're just saying Terraria. Because I don't know what Pixel Piracy and Pixel Privateers is. I don't know if that's Are those big games?
It was okay.
Okay. They were out there, Relogic was, saying that they won't, quote, sell our souls, end quote, with the Epic Game Store exclusivity.
Dude.
And now they're at the Epic Game Store PC Gaming Conference.
Yeah.
So...
And what's even weirder about that statement they made is Relogic has basically been pulling a Skyrim with Terraria.
Oh, yeah.
Where they have been putting it on every system available, like not making their next big game because they're making all this money off the existing one. And it's like throwing stones in glass houses, guys. Like, yeah, it's cool that they've been putting out a lot of free content for Terraria. That's great. But like they're the next Terraria, they kind of licensed out to this other company, and people waited years for it. And then they basically checked up on them and said, wow, this is a lot shittier than we thought. You're closed. And then they put up a public announcement, was like, whoops, sorry, that didn't work out. And it's like, but that was supposed to be like the next big thing. Of course, I feel really bad saying this because there are a lot of Terraria fanboys out there. Like every time I talk about this, like I'm surprised Chad isn't erupting in rage right now.
That game's beloved for sure.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, Terraria is a phenomenal game. Like I've done 3 full playthroughs. It's a great game, but it was very strange to see that, and then to have them show up at the Epic PC Game Show, just a lot of just kind of like, I don't know.
It's a little weird. It's a little weird. I might be most excited about the PC Gaming Conference drama because those devs go out there and they're not PR people. They are the devs. They are themselves in most cases. If you're going to take a shot or try to win, if you're going to try to CDPR yourself and win some favor with the fans, you're going to shit on the Epic Game Store. Right? Like that's front and center. That's prime time, baby. That's where you do it. So who's going to be the one that gets out there and takes the bullet, if at all, is what I will be watching for.
What I can't wait for is hopefully it happens, but the person who inevitably takes it one step too far, so it's not a joke, and it's just like everybody's like like awkward laugh, just like. So terrible. Oh, I can't wait.
And the thing is Epic has a safe fall because Sean's such a good host. He'll diffuse whatever is said in a matter of seconds. But I can't wait. That's probably the one thing that I'm most excited for. A lot of these other studios that are being there, I don't know too much, or I'm not the biggest fans of them. Chucklefish, I think Annapurna Interactive are probably, and Digital Extremes are probably some of the biggest names on there.
What if we're going to see anything about Railjack?
When is that? You play the Warframes? Have they said anything else about when all that's supposed to come out?
I think New War is supposed to come out first, and then Railjack is after that. Okay. So I'm just wondering if we're going to see any like progress or updates, or they can't really show too much about New War because it's all going to be just major spoilers at this point. Maybe a release date would be great for New War. I know I'm really looking forward to that. Yeah. We'll have to see.
We'll see. Yeah. We'll see what happens.
A Judgment on PC announcement. That'd be nice. But that'd be Sega. Would Sega be at the PC Gaming Con? Probably not.
They might. They've ported a ton of stuff to PC recently. I kind of feel like a lot of times the PC Gaming Conference is the place where developers that don't have a place go, if that makes any sense.
It's like the land of forgotten toys for game devs.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's exciting in that way because...
Oh, that's right. They were there last year. Yeah, that's right.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, there's so many things that can just pop up there and be a surprise. You guys remember last year? And Zeke, I don't know if you were watching the PC Gaming Conference, but do you remember that 1,000-person BR game that was shown? Has there been anything on that?
What was it called?
The 1,000-person BR game. I don't know.
I'm Googling that right now.
I bet you it pops up.
Mavericks.
There you go. Yeah, of course.
So I have heard nothing of this game. I remember specifically we talked about it because we were like, I wonder if it'll have enough players to fill a single server.
Yeah. Yeah.
This article was written June 28th, 2018. That's the first one that comes up.
That was last E3 then. That time, yeah.
Is there a Steam page for it?
Someone in chat saying alpha was a few weeks ago.
Oh, there's no Steam page for it.
I don't know.
Um,
It also has an NDA.
did anyone play
though.
the alpha?
It's
You
got
guys
an
like
NDA,
it?
so I don't. They're
Oh,
gonna break
never
it if
mind.
they talk about it. Yeah.
Let's not do that. Yeah, let's not do that.
Yeah. Huh. That's the type of stuff where I'm like, who knows what's gonna pop up. I really don't know what's gonna be shown there. I think
Launching in late 2019, so it's supposed to come out this year.
yeah,
They got a website and everything, mavericks.gg.
that'd be cool.
We'll see.
I think it would be interesting if Microsoft is out there kind of doubling down with the Xbox Game Pass and all that stuff for PC. If like Phil Spencer walked out on stage and talked about what they're planning to do for like Windows and gaming and how all that stuff works. Sure, they're going to be talking about that on their own conference, but that'll be the day prior. So they could definitely walk out on this and follow up and say like, hey, this is some other stuff that we're going to double down on. That would be kind of cool to see for sure. But apart from that, there's not very many like leaks out there or confirmed things that are going to be shown. So a little bit of the unknown, which is maybe some of the more exciting stuff for sure.
The good thing about the PC gaming show is as long as Day 9 keeps hosting it, you know it will at least be fun to watch.
That's very true. That's very true.
Even if you don't like the content and the games being out there, like Day 9 can make watching paint dry entertaining. So they really nailed it.
Someday people will say that about me.
Someday.
I think you're very similar, JP. You're like watching paint dry.
How did that circle back to me? What? Zeke was.
Hey, wait a minute.
I'm sorry.
That conversation.
I had a Freudian slip there. I'm sorry. I meant to say Zeke. I'm sorry. You're both terrible. So it doesn't matter. I mean, it worked for both of you.
The mask of confusion was just like, wait, what? Why is he talking about me? It was Zeke. It was a Zeke joke.
You know, funny enough,
Oh, man.
I was looking at JP's microphone, and I think I just like saw the little JP, and it just like slipped in there.
Oh man.
I was sitting there going, "Why is his mic so high?" I don't know. You threw me off, JP. Oh, did you just raise it a little bit?
I did. Yeah, you gotta talk right into the mic like this. You gotta really just
So I was looking at the Donkey Crew game, Last Oasis. It looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like for real though, it looks pretty neat.
No, I will say that real talk, JP. Only one of us got invited out to do some E3 stuff, so that should tell you something, man.
I was again confused by that.
I get invited out to do E3 stuff because I've got dirt.
Uh-oh.
On Twitch.
He's got the dirt on Twitch. I hear that's how you get anything to function at that company. So
I'm just gonna drop that dirt right there.
Yeah, we're just gonna make shit up on the fly. Let's move on because holy shit, we only have 12 minutes. Co, can you go over today? Is that a possibility?
By a little bit, like
Okay.
10, 15 minutes.
All right. Ubisoft should be short and sweet because it's fucking all leaked. We already know what's going to be there. It feels like everything is leaked from there. We'll start with the Splinter Cell E3 2019 thing that popped up on GameStop, which were Splinter Cell goggles apparently popped up to purchase from GameStop. Splinter Cell Sam Fisher goggles replica. They were listed on GameStop's store, and now they are no longer listed. So people think that has some sort of something to tie in with Splinter Cell, a new Splinter Cell being announced. But other people are saying that it was also just Splinter Cell Blacklist promotional material. So I don't know if we can confirm anything that it's going to be there, but I think I'd play another Splinter Cell. I think those games are fun. Really? They're not bad. The PvP in them is remarkably unique. I will say that. In the sense that it's like spies versus mercs. Spies are first person, mercs are third person, and have proper guns, and the spies have spy tools and all that stuff. It's a lot of fun.
I've never done Splinter Cell PvP.
It's good. It's unique. There's not really another game like it that I can think of. So as for the actual like single player aspect of it, I think people. I don't think it's necessarily the three of our interest, but people would be pretty excited for another Splinter Cell game. I hope that shows up. We'll see. Also, you might. I think you actually like those games. The story's like kind of interesting. It's your typical war, U.S. espionage stuff, but for the most part, it's.
I think Splinter Cell for me would be a game I play offline. I play on my own because most of the Splinter Cell games I play like, you know how I play games real like slow, like way slow than anybody else ever.
Yeah.
Those games are painfully slow for me because I stop and reset if I get caught even once.
Yeah, perfectionism comes into play for sure.
Yeah.
Getting caught in that game, it's close to getting like a game over, right? Like you want to redo it and you want to try to be the perfect spy, which is why a lot of people enjoy them, to be honest. So we'll see if that's there. There's this, we talked about this a little bit last week, the Derby style roller champions, which is potentially their Rocket League thing. Footage of a roller derby style game leaks out ahead of industry show from Polygon's reporting this. I'm going to look. Can you show leaked footage? I guess that's fine to show, right?
If it's in the public domain, I think.
Yeah.
Well,
the video's not loading, so I don't know if that's a reflection of Polygon or fate.
or a sign from above.
Yeah. This is apparently the leaked footage right here for what this game can look like. That looks like an Ubisoft game.
There better be like farts stuff in it.
What?
Like an Ubisoft game, you know? Like South Park stuff.
Oh, I thought you said farts and stuff, and I was like, what?
No, I said farts and stuff. I want there to be farts and stuff.
I mean, that's South Park stuff, so it still works.
Because Ubisoft takes chances. They don't give a fuck. They're great.
Yeah.
I love Ubisoft.
Yeah. Well, this isn't really showing anything, and I'm worried about showing more. Actually, that was all the video is. It ended 2 seconds after that, so we'll see what the fuck that is. And now we can go on the trail of Watch Dogs 3 leaks. So how did this all start? Didn't this start at like a Walmart in London or something? Maybe check and confirm this. Where did the first Watch Dogs 3 leak occur, chat? They're calling it Watch Dogs Brexit. Wait, is this based in London? I guess it's based in London.
Oh, I thought that was a joke.
No, I think it's based in London. It was Amazon UK. Okay, so Amazon UK started this off. And then Jason Schreier of Kotaku labeled it Watch Dogs Legion, which is what the leak was originally, and said, I can confirm this is real. And then Watch Dogs got out there on Twitter with the official name Watch Dogs Legion and tweeted this, God save the NPCs, referring to what the leak confirmed that you can apparently take over any NPC in the game. And this is what they put out there. It's got 1 million views. And I asked the question now, did you guys play Watch Dogs 2?
I tried.
What was the breaking point for you? What did it not do? Or what did it do right, maybe is the other question.
For me, the breaking point was that it was trying so hard. Like it is the definition of trying hard. I felt like the entire game was made by 7 40 to 60-year-old white guys in business suits in a room, and the entire game was, what can we do to impress the kids? It was just.
They put him in front of hackers.
Oh,
wait, is this the game
watched it 3 times back to back?
Is this the game that had the mask of the guy that used emojis?
yes, with the emotes on them, and
I
everyone
remember this game.
talked in their super nerdy slang, and it was very tough for me to play. It was hard.
So
It was just one step away from the main character being like, "What's that?"
So
Honestly, that would have been funnier.
let me ask you
I
this
think it
then.
would have been a reference I understood. Like
It
it's seriously. I don't use this word often. In fact, I hate when people use this word, but I will use it for this. Watch Dogs 2 caused me many times to physically cringe. Just like literally, I'd be playing and I'd just be like, "Oh, no, oh,
Dang.
oh,
I don't.
no."
For some reason, I'm thinking I did a sponsored stream for this game.
I think I did too. Didn't we do them on the same day or something?
That might be true.
Yeah.
I
Note
don't
to
think.
all-
I remember it was one of the only sponsor streams where at the end of it, I was just like, this might be for you, and it's sort of fun to play, but this is not for me.
That
Like,
might have been.
I hope you enjoyed what you watched today, but I will not. I think I said at the end of the sponsor stream, I will not be returning to this game. Like, this is not. I'm not the target audience.
Did For Honor come out before or after Watch Dogs 2?
I don't know.
Because if it came out before, I probably did a sponsored stream for that.
Watch Dogs 2 was November 15th,
Okay.
2016, and For Honor was February 14th, 2017. So For Honor came out like a year later.
Oh, yeah. I probably did a sponsor stream for that. Anything
Yeah.
post For Honor, it's iffy. Because those were rough, which we've
Pretty sure
highlighted
you
before.
just secured a new Watch Dogs sponsored stream. Oh,
Nice.
great.
Yeah. Hello, Ubisoft. That's someone.
Yeah.
We don't. Yeah. Anyways.
Now, I did see a little bit about Watch Dogs 3. Like, apparently you can make your own character and stuff now. So maybe
Well-
that'll make it a little bit better. So you don't have to get like locked into
Let me-
super.
What was this leak specifically about that you can take over any NPC? Because that was the big thing. The big
3
thing
months is basically a year. Yes.
is that you possess NPCs.
I mean, you could kind of do that with machines last time, right? Am I thinking about that right?
I don't
Maybe
remember.
not.
I don't remember.
I remember like jumping cameras or something. Maybe.
Hey,
been a
look.
long
Here's a good thing, at least that I can see from us talking about this. We don't remember what the fuck happened in Watch Dogs 2. So if you're gonna change stuff up in Watch Dogs 3, it's probably a good time to do it. Because a lot of people seem to forget what happened.
I hate to say it, but from what I understand, Watch Dogs 2, like some people really enjoyed it. Like maybe more people than we're giving it credit for. It may have hit its target demographic, so to speak.
Okay.
Cool.
Cool.
So it may be enough to do. The thing that really bugged me about Watch Dogs 2 is that Watch Dogs 1 was like nothing like it. Like it was much more of like a serious,
Yeah, it was like Mr. Robot.
Yeah, not nearly as like try hard or any, like it was an actual, like it wasn't a great game. The gameplay in 2, I will say, is better.
Yeah.
But the first one was much more realistic. Granted, it was not nearly as flashy. I mean, people could argue it was like more boring, but it felt a lot more like rooted in reality. Where the second one is just like super over the top, like style everywhere, their style everywhere. You know, like it's just again over the top, way over the top.
Okay.
Maybe in 3 they'll pull it back a little bit. Maybe it'll be like a more of a combination between the two. I mean, I could get back into the gameplay of 2 with the more realistic muted scene of 1. So
Right.
then again, I don't think I'm the target demographic anymore. So who knows?
Yeah. It had according to someone in the chat, it had a 82 on Metacritic. If you want to use Metacritic as a judge.
Watch Dogs 2 did?
Yeah. So seemed
That's not bad.
to garner some favor from critics at least. Watch Dogs 3 will be there. It's leaked. It's confirmed. They're out there saying what it's called Watch Dogs Legion. We should be clear. I don't know if that'll ever have a 3 mentioned in it, so that might just go a completely new way. What else is out there? This one kind of, I get it. I don't know how well it'll do. Ubisoft might unveil the Ubisoft Pass, which is a game subscription service at E3 2019. We've seen, what is it, EA has a Game Pass out there. We were talking about Microsoft's earlier. This will be like the, 3rd or 4th one. It makes sense. Ubisoft is a big publisher. They push a lot of games out there. A subscription service to have access to all those games, sure. Why not? It'll probably do okay. Beyond Good and Evil 2 will not be at E3 2019, but a live stream will be happening soon, according to who's reporting this? Just GameSpot? Yeah, GameSpot's out there saying this. So won't be there at E3, but look for something afterwards. And then what else? Far Cry 6 apparently leaked, or there's a rumor about it. Who's reporting this? Just so we get the facts straight. GameRant.com is reporting Far Cry 6 is a thing. I don't know if I want a Far Cry 6. They've kind of pumped those games out a little bit fast. I feel like Primal started the decline of the Far Cry series. The last one was
not
Montana,
really into the
right?
last one. The last one was my setting, and I still wasn't very into it.
I was into it just doing co-op. That shit was fucking hilarious, but
What do you say, Zeke?
Got him back. You got him back. You got him back.
Choosh, my friend.
Well, regardless,
way-
it's... What? No, go ahead.
Something came out 5 hours ago, and I'd just like to say now, for 2 years, I've been saying this, and it just got confirmed by the man himself.
Uh-oh.
Ready?
Do it.
We had done so many things. We were going Elder Scrolls Fallout, Howard told IGN. You have this Starfield game in your head. You sort of say, well, when? It can be never. You could say never. But look, we're creatives, and it's like we have to make this game, and this is the time. So Elder Scrolls 6 is going to have to wait a little bit. And plus, again, from Todd Howard, Elder Scrolls Online is doing so well, it's so vibrant, that this is the time, both for us creatively and our audience. The reason they haven't made Elder Scrolls 6 was because of ESO.
Sure.
I've been waiting so long to have somebody at Bethesda say that.
Yeah. Companies have to make money. I mean, Warcraft 4 never happened because World of Warcraft came out, right? So I get it. It sucks.
There it is.
It's a result of a business being a business.
Oh, I know. For everyone saying in chat, we did already know that. But this is one of the first times they've ever actually like straight up said, you do not have a new Elder Scrolls game in your hand because Elder Scrolls Online has been doing so well.
Yeah.
Like that, yeah. Anyway, I mean, yeah, of course, we all knew it. But it's the first time they've said it.
I believe it.
Big deal in my small world, guys. I got a little teeny tiny world over here. It's a big deal.
There you go. There you go. So yeah, that's it for Ubisoft. It's always a conference. We say this every single year. It's just the fun conference. It's they don't take themselves too seriously over there unless it's the guy with the cane. He doesn't work there anymore though, so he's not going to be back on For Honor. And maybe we'll get a surprise like Mario X Rabbids, which I think was one of the things that completely took the entire industry by like, what the fuck, when that was announced. So maybe we get some more Nintendo Ubisoft projects. We'll see.
And that was a fantastic game.
It was good. It was, yeah.
It was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun. I play it whenever I'm flying.
And DJ Wheat won't let me host with him if I don't say at least Beyond Good and Evil 2. There, done.
We'll not be there. You can tell him.
No, I just need to say that word, the title of the thing.
Gotcha. Noted. We moved.
Wait a second.
What?
That somebody just linked this to me. That GIF that was tweeted out by Mark Dara earlier this morning.
Yeah.
Somebody just linked me a GIF on Giphy with 4.5 million views. That's the same GIF. He may have just taken it off some GIF site.
Maybe he's just tweeting shit to tweet shit. Which is awesome in my opinion.
Great.
Yeah.
That's a great troll. I love it.
I'm into that.
People sitting there staring at it going like, what the fuck is it?
Yeah.
Shout out and thank you to Xancatus who linked that to me here.
I love that people find that shit. That's so good. It's so awesome that people just find that. Square Enix. They've taken Sony's time slot conference-wise. We're going to get Final Fantasy VII Remake information. They've already said that that'll be there. The Avengers thing will be there. The Avengers game.
Wait, we're up to Square Enix now?
Yep.
Dying Light 2?
Dying Light 2 is confirmed to be there.
That's honestly by far the most hyped thing out of them that I'm expecting. That and the Final Fantasy VII Remake. Like, I am so... Everything I hear about Dying Light 2 makes it sound better and better.
Square Enix is kind of... They're coming with some games. For sure. I mean, those three right there. Kingdom Hearts 3 DLC will probably be there as well. There's a new thing called Outriders.
Yeah, I want to look at that. What is that?
It is apparently a new FPS from the Bulletstorm developers in Square Enix.
Bulletstorm is great.
Mm-hmm. There's also been some rumors that we might see something from Nier, because they just recently had the kind of big deal that Nier Automata surpassed 4 million copies
I saw
sold.
That. Yep. Yep.
Like
yep,
that's
yep, yep,
so great. That's such a great game to sell well. Like that's that kind of off the beaten path, fun RPG, deep experience. Like that's the kind of stuff we want to see selling well. So that's great news.
Might get
Great
something
news.
out of them. Final Fantasy 14 has that new expansion coming out. I don't think we're going to see anything new from them, but they'll probably have a presence there, at least run a trailer or something like that. They might also be on stage with the Nier people because Final Fantasy 14 is getting a raid that is influenced by Nier. The co-creators of Nier are working on that raid together with Square. And Final
Quick
Fantasy
side
14.
question to you, JP.
Yeah.
How are you feeling about the new Final Fantasy expansion coming out? Are people
I'm
like super
stoked.
hyped for this?
Oh yes,
Yeah?
yeah. People are super. I haven't talked about it much. I put another like 200 hours in the past month or two in it. So yeah,
What are the big things you're looking forward to?
So they're introducing 2 new races, 2 new classes. The bunny people from Final Fantasy 12, the Viera, are going to be there, and then the Rothgar, which is Kamari from Final Fantasy 10. They're going to be the 2 playable races. Job wise, it's Dancer and Gunblade. So
Little Star Wars Galaxy in there. Okay.
yeah, Gunblade basically like Squall from Final Fantasy 8, and Dancer is Dancer. And then story-wise, what you come to expect from an expansion and zones and raids. I think there's 9 dungeons total when it first launches on June 28th.
9 new dungeons?
Yep, 9 all brand new dungeons. I think there's 2 every single level, and then 4 of them at level 80. I'm all in. I will be playing the shit out of that.
See, Anthem, we call that content.
Yeah, right. Right. Yeah.
This is an expansion to the game, and it has like
Yeah.
twice the amount that it had on release.
Wow.
Oh my god, that's cool to hear, man. I don't know if I'm going to play it myself, but I definitely plan on following you and a few other streamers like run on it.
Yeah, we've
Excited to
got
see the news.
we've got some sponsored streams coming up for it later this month, which
Nice.
I'll be
Awesome.
talking about it on, not only because of what, it's so weird to talk around this shit because of NDAs. They will be fun because of who I'm playing with on the sponsored stream. That's what I'll say.
Carrot
Excited for
Top?
that. It is Carrot. Fuck. How did you? Of all the people.
Sorry.
Of all the people. How did you know? How did you know?
What game are we talking about again?
Final Fantasy 14. That game that you got to 70 on and quit.
Is that? I feel terrible saying this. Is that dude still alive?
I think so.
What is he been? I remember he was like a crazy big bodybuilder. You know what? Let's talk about games. We don't have a lot of time.
Yeah.
Let's talk about
We
games.
don't. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
I've got to get lunch and then do something after this. So.
It's true. It's true.
I have like 7 minutes, so let's make him good.
Yeah. So that's kind of it from Square Enix. Square Enix's thing is basically like, hey, you know all that stuff that you grew up playing and all those movies you watched? Come check out our conference because we got stuff for them. And I'm in. I'm super stoked to see all that. Then Nintendo will be there on Tuesday morning. It fucking balls early at like 9 a.m. or 9 a.m. Eastern, I think is when that starts. Or 9 a.m. Pacific, I forget. If only I had a schedule to tell me. 8:30 a.m. Pacific is when that starts, 11:30 a.m. Eastern. It's early.
That means I'll see the studio at 7.
It's early. It's early. But hey, we circled back.
Hey Zeke, how do you feel about it?
Yeah, how do you feel about that? The Witcher 3 apparently is coming to the Nintendo Switch. Apparently that
Nani?
leaked online. I think
Seriously?
how The Witcher 3 didn't run that well on PC when it first shipped, right? Am I making that up or is that true?
Didn't run well?
Yeah, weren't there like some issues with it when it first came out?
I think on like medium high to high there were some issues, but I think they patched a lot of that stuff. There was that big issue with the NVIDIA Hairworks thing where they put in Hairworks, but it ended up being a huge fiasco because it would like destroy performance. But I later they fixed that up.
Oh, I mean, it's all been fixed. Yeah. I just wonder how. I mean, The Witcher 3 is a good fucking looking game, and the Switch doesn't have that much horsepower in it. So,
Now, JP, it's amazing how bad you can make a game look at lower resolutions. Like it's just impressive. So it really cuts down on the resource use.
I don't know if that's necessarily the best place to play it, but sure, The Witcher 3 is coming out for the Switch.
I will say though,
Apparently.
like especially playing on the controllers on the Switch, like that would Witcher 3 combat is already so finicky. Like it'll be interesting to see how that translates, especially on the harder difficulties, where like every, depending on if you're facing the enemy, can decide death or success. That'll be interesting.
We'll see if it happens. It's a rumor.
Yeah.
It's not confirmed yet.
Too.
What else is there? Second Zelda game apparently rumored to be released later this year. Not sure about that. Again, all rumors. We saw this morning the Pokemon Direct. We didn't see this. We're not Pokemon fans. But it's a fully realized 3D with Pokemon Sword and Shield. And there's also the Dynamics thing, which apparently makes the Pokemon bigger. And that was like a thing that people are super fucking stoked about. And then we'll see what else there. Also, there's apparently, this has been kind of a long time rumor. Apparently, they're making a more powerful Switch, like a brand new SKU, which, if The Witcher 3 is going to the Switch, I could think of no better game to really push the performance of a powerful new Switch than The Witcher 3. So we'll see if that actually comes out, like a Switch Pro or something like that. Or a Switch 2.0. This is from T3.com is the one that I'm reading about. We'll see what happens with that.
Okay. There seems to be a lot of things in chat right now. That's been rumored for a long time. It's actually a less powerful Switch. Somebody said they said there were no hardware announcements at E3 this year. Interesting. So that sounds super rumory right now.
Yeah.
I will say that would be kind of strange. Nintendo is usually pretty good to their consumer base. And I would say like re-releasing a brand new console of basically the same library, just with updated stuff. That's this soon too. That feels a little double dippy.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be like they were Apple or something. That'd be a weird thing.
Oh God. Oh.
Next, they're gonna be charging $1,000 for fucking Switch stands, Switch docks.
Oh, that's true. They did do that with the 3DS and stuff. That is true.
Yeah,
that is true.
I mean, they've had a bunch of SKUs for a lot of their handheld stuff, so we'll see. And then I think are we gonna see Animal Crossing stuff? Are you guys Animal Crossing fans? Is that your will? Is it anyone?
Weirdly enough, I've played Stardew and My Time at Portia to the Ground, but I've never played Animal Crossing.
I think we're probably going to see some Animal Crossing. I think they
have
announced
a tattoo
it
on my back.
Yeah,
of Animal Crossing stuff. Big cartoon fire hydrant.
Yeah,
like on my back.
We'll see. We are usually not that. I guess into is the word, the Nintendo stuff. So we're not going to spend too much time covering it. Luckily, the people that will be joining us, specifically Elspeth, because she's actually done voice work for some Nintendo stuff. She'll be joining us for that, as well as Strippin and Baru on Tuesday. And then there's more E3 stuff that's all rumored, and who knows? We'll see what happens. It's going to be a crazy next couple of days. It all starts tomorrow with that Stadia stuff. We'll see what goes on there. And then we'll be back on Saturday to check out the Star Wars, and Sunday Xbox conference and all that crap.
Real quick before I go, I wanted to talk about my thoughts about. I played Doki Doki Literature Club and Danganronpa, and I got it. Oh, we're out of time. We'll talk about it some other time.
Okay. All right. Also,
we'll talk about it in 2 weeks.
Oh yeah, there's no. Well, you're still at E3 next Wednesday, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. We'll try to see if there's a show next week. I'll try to figure it out. We might do a show. We might not. We might be done with talking by next Wednesday. How many shows?
It might be like that old saying about what is it? Fish and house guests. Like they all start to stink after 3 days. Like might be sick of each other by that time.
It's true. That's very true. Yeah. We also owe some answers to Crazy Dan. Maybe we'll get those out. I could think of no better time to kill time than the pre-show of the Bethesda conference. So maybe we'll do it then. Let's do some shout outs and we'll call it a show. Zeke, why don't you start us off?
Okay. Hi, everybody. I'm Ezekiel the Third. You can find me at /Ezekiel_III. That's on Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube. If you want to find me, I will be here in about 45 minutes. I'll be going to twitch.tv/Table Story for Nocturne, the timey-wimey horror, terror, suspense, blah, 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 tabletop role-playing show that we do over there. It's fun. It takes place in the modern day, whatever. Anyways, if you want to see me tomorrow playing video games, I will be on at noon playing the new Justin Roiland VR game called Prover Saves the Universe. I think is what's the name of it. So it should be a lot of fun. It's the Rick and Morty guys, animation and voices and stuff. So it should be a lot of fun. That's what's happening then. And then I'm leaving for E3 on Saturday. So you'll be able to watch me there.
Awesome stuff. Cool. Some shout outs.
Awesome. Well,
Hold on. Take it back. All right.
Okay,
Ko, some shout outs, please.
here we go. 8 a.m. EST. See you for Drop Frames E3.
Boom.
Just Monica.
There you go. Oh, God, you're starting. Jesus Christ. What happened to you? I don't even know you anymore. Jesus, Ko.
What did he say?
Let's not begin. Let's not start it.
Just Monica. What does that mean?
Just Monica.
Oh, God, what is happening?
Is that Doki Doki stuff?
A little bit.
Okay. I need to play that, don't I?
You do.
Okay.
It's happening, Chad.
All right. I'm out of here. I'm getting lunch.
All right.
Bye.
See you later. The last thing I talked about this on Twitter. On Sunday, Twitch reached out to us and asked us if we were at all interested in having drop frames on twitch.tv/Twitch. For those that don't know, this is the go-to channel every year for E3. They restream all the conferences. It's usually the number one viewed channel on the platform during E3, with usually around depending on the conference, I've seen it hit around 700,000 or 800,000 viewers. So they're going to be hosting drop frames prior to the Microsoft conference and the Bethesda conference, and I think afterwards as well for about 15 minutes. So that's a thing. That'll be a lot of fun.
For a lot of people, I just want to go ahead and say congrats, JP. That's kind of huge.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. The nice,
Kind of awesome.
the nice thing, I guess, is how I'll frame. I don't know if it's not necessarily the nice thing, but they're going to be restreaming us on their channel, not hosting us. So our chat will be the same chat. We'll just be on /Twitch as well.
So your chat's going to be like the private club.
Exactly. Yes, that's accurate. It's accurate.
Nice.
Also, my mods don't have to have a panic attack because they have to mod potentially hundreds of thousands of people, which is a good thing. So,
Dude, that shit is emote only.
yeah, yeah. Also, the hype meter.
You know what that means, though, right? Everyone who can hear JP right now.
Y'all just got an exclusive ticket.
Mm-hmm. That's true. Yeah. We'll also have the hype meter. It's back. That'll be in full effect on the channel. And it'll be just like the E3 shows that you've come to expect from Drop Frames. Except Zeke's going to be joining us on Sunday for the first time, which I'm super excited about. Because he'll be, we've done 4 of these, Co. We've done a lot of these, and Zeke's never been here because he's always working for Twitch. So it'll be a
Very
first
much
time
looking forward to that.
that we'll all 3 be together. So.
And I forgot the thing I'm most hyped about. I totally spaced it.
Do
The
it.
thing I'm absolutely 100% most hyped about E3. This is no joke.
Okay.
Devolver conference.
Okay.
Conference. You know that shit
Sure.
they did the last few years, just killed it. They're gonna continue with that, and it's gonna be fucking dope.
That's true. Yeah. Okay. That happens after Bethesda, right? Zeke doesn't know. He's not listening to me. Yes, that I think that does
don't
happen
know
after
when it happens.
Bethesda. So
It's not on the official schedule.
okay, that's it for our pre-E3 coverage. If you want to stick around here on the channel, I'm actually going to be building the show. I've decided to stream it this year, and I can't do it tomorrow because the Blues are playing. So I'm going to do it right after the show today. So if you're watching on YouTube, we'll see you guys this Sunday as we start with Microsoft, aka Xbox, for more. We're out of here. We'll see you guys then. Bye-bye.